Are we
I
live?
totally forgot to press enter. I put it in the chat and I had it ready to go, but I was also like messaging D separately just in case he didn't see it. And then I messaged someone else on Facebook, and then I forgot to come back to Discord and press enter.
That's
and
okay.
We
That's
were
okay.
like,
I'm glad you're doing it.
we're like, where are Colin and Simon?
There's
Right.
Simon. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Yay.
This is your fault. It's all your fault.
I
all
had
your
the
fault.
message. It was right there. I just
It's
didn't press
all-
stupid
It's
enter.
all our fault, everybody. Let's give a round of applause. It's our
But
fault.
look, it's hot. My brain is fried.
It's all wonderful.
Can you guys? Is the air conditioner too loud? Because I have the air conditioner on. It's
I
pretty
have an air
hot.
conditioner on.
You can't
too.
hear it.
I don't hear it.
Nice. That's why I like dynamic mics. Come on, Levi. Sorry,
These
this
coming
was.
too?
Say what?
These coming too?
I hope so. He said today was a good day for him. So I sent it to him also on Twitter because sometimes he doesn't see the notifications on Discord. Hey, Drew. How you doing? Come on, Levi. Sorry, I'm distracted. We are getting started off in a very chaotic fashion. My dog wants to get up in my lap, and he's so blind he can't find the right way to get up here. Come here, little boy.
Is that Chibi in Arturo's window?
Yes.
That's Chibi.
Chibi.
Come on, Levi. And then this is Levi joining me. Okay.
Levi.
Little poor Levi, he's so blind. Okay, oh Lord.
Well, 2015.
Yeah.
I will say this was the beginning of that sort of typical studio kind of meddling and just being
There's D.
safe most of the time.
You want to add
I
D
feel
on
like
her?
this was kind of stuff.
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah.
D. We got started off in a very chaotic manner. I sent the link to everybody, except I forgot to press enter on the Discord message to Simon and Colin. And also you were, and I'm sitting there thinking like, where's Simon and Colin? They're not here yet. I forgot to press it.
That's all our
Oh,
fault.
Lord. Okay, we just got started talking.
Well, yeah,
about
I was
2015.
just saying, like, this, I feel like this was the year when studios started to play it safe with most of their movies. I mean, this still had good movies, but, you know, you had Jurassic World and Force Awakens. They played it sort of safe.
Should have been a 10, but it wasn't because they played it safe. There's a lot of movies that should have been better.
Yeah.
You know,
My
I
favorite
read
movie did come out this decade. Of the decade came out this year.
your favorite movie.
So everyone can guess.
Well,
Well, I guess we'll find out.
We'll get there.
but you had said like your favorite movie was this one movie that I can't remember what it was called now, and you only saw it once.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like you're talking about this was like the best movie. You loved it, and we were talking further about it, and you admitted you'd only seen it like once. It was
Maybe
some
because he was
obsure
high.
movie I'd never heard of before.
That does sound like me. But it wasn't my favorite movie of the decade.
Oh, okay. So now we're getting more specific.
It's been a firm position for a while.
Should I go ahead and just start going through this list here, high grossing film?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, number one. I mean, number one. Let's be real. Number one.
Star Wars.
The film that's not canon.
No,
Sin's favorite.
We don't count this film.
It's not canon. I mean,
I'm going to defend it.
it's just a fan.
Oh,
it's just
my
a fan.
goodness.
I'm gonna defend The Force Awakens.
Sin, I thought you told me that you really
Real.
enjoyed the film.
To be real, at the time,
Yeah.
I did like it until
I
Last
liked it.
Jedi, and then I didn't care anymore.
I enjoyed it
At the
initially,
time, I
yes.
enjoyed it for what it was.
I
I mean,
hate
I
it.
don't think like it's not like the second and third one, which were awful movies, ruined the first one, and any more than like the last season of Game of Thrones ruined the whole series. Like I can still watch, but I can see how it does for some people though.
Like you have to have a trilogy to flow with everything plot wise.
I think Force Awakens. I really like the first half of that movie. I think it's really good. I really enjoyed it in the theater, and rewatching it, I can rewatch it a bunch. And I've rewatched the first half like 5 times and never been bored or thought it was bad.
Just the first half, and then you stop when it gets to a certain point.
Yeah, and I think it really gets bad halfway. I don't think it gets bad. I think it gets I think it gets mediocre halfway through.
Oh,
Whereas
yeah, like
second
it
and
just
third
felt,
movie are terrible.
just felt like A New Hope. Just different.
Yeah, it's not. The Force Awakens doesn't live up to the original trilogy, but I think it's better than all the prequels. And I mean, I think the prequels and the last two movies are pretty trashy, but I think Force Awakens is decent. I think the second half becomes pretty boring. I think they just recycle like the whole Empire stuff and the planet killers, just like a Death Star, and the Han Solo stuff. Like, felt like I saw it coming, and I felt like Han Solo didn't have any charisma left. Maybe Harrison Ford himself doesn't, because it's like Han Solo was like always had a smile and this like playful attitude in the original, but like in Force Awakens, it's like he always feels like he's tired to be there. Like he's never really smiled, like force a smile, and it doesn't feel like it's Han Solo, and so it's not like, oh, Han Solo's in it. It's like, no, it's not the same Han Solo, and like. And Kylo Ren sucked. I mean, he's always sucked, and he sucked in the first movie. He was a little bit better in the first movie just because we hadn't seen how lame he becomes. Like, he was kind of more mysterious. Like, but by the end of the first,
because the mask.
Right. And so, like,
you need to turn the gate on his mask down.
If you just take the first half of Force Awakens, I think it's like what could have been. Like if the movie had finished stronger and the next, I was still excited for the second movie after Force Awakens. So that's saying like it wasn't that bad that I wasn't like completely done with Star Wars after it. It was after the second one I was really like, oh my God. Like I saw the third one almost like it was a chore. Like, well, I've seen the other 8. I guess I'll see the 9th one. But like but I think Force Awakens isn't bad. It's the 2 that followed it.
Fortunately, the films were just all fan fiction.
I mean,
I never watched the last 2. Well, okay. I watched the first few minutes of the last 2 when it got to Luke Skywalker drinking that milk and doing whatever the hell he was doing with that milk, and then when he tossed the lightsaber, when he just like tossed it, I was like, okay, I'm out, I'm done. And I turned it off and never finished. I just could not. And plus, I was tired of looking at Rey's face. By that short amount of time into the movie, I was just tired.
I like Rey.
Oh, I can't stand her. Oh, I can't stand her.
I don't know, Sin. I feel like from our conversations, I got a little hint of something else there. But okay, if you say so.
This was only a fan fiction production.
Yeah, we just count it as fan fiction.
It's not really canon.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say in regards to what Colin said about Han Solo, it's because Harrison Ford came back for the check and because he knew the character was gonna get killed off, because he actually wanted that to happen in Return of the Jedi. So it's very much like to use. I mean, there are plenty of examples, but just like Roy Scheider in Jaws 2, he didn't want to come back for that, and they basically set it up to where like it was some kind of contractual obligation, but you could tell in that movie he was just like, all right, like when is this over? And that always shows somehow when folks are just kind of being bored.
Like he wasn't into Han Solo that much, I guess, as a character. He liked Indiana Jones.
I will say though, I liked Rey, I liked Finn, I liked the whole Stormtrooper good guy aspect, and I will
tell you this, Finn.
I love BB-8.
I do like BB-8.
I do think
maybe not R2, but it's better than 3PO.
I like his design. It was a good design.
Okay. Yeah, I do think Finn was like better established. Like he's a defector and all that. I think he was more interesting than Rey.
Oh, he was definitely more interesting than Rey.
Finn had more of like this emotion. He was struggling between whether or not is he on the right side. To be honest, like you could, if they were to like retcon all that, they could at least keep Finn. They could at least keep him. Maybe Kylo at best, but
I heard it's coming back. Like Rey's coming back.
Well, just for the fan fiction productions, not canon.
Yeah, I know. Well, we don't count these anyway.
Well, I loved The Force Awakens.
You loved it?
From the trailers. I mean, the amount of hype that was built up with those trailers was ridiculous. I actually cried, I think, in the second one with Harrison Ford showed up.
Really?
And
Are
then
you serious, Simon? Or
yes,
are you
in
just
turn-
joking?
Oh,
No,
people
I'm
are
absolutely
dead.
serious.
Yeah.
In terms
Okay.
of a soft reboot, it was fucking masterful because it kept the speculation going for 2 years before The Last Jedi came out and fucking ruined everything, ruined the whole franchise. But
All right.
yeah,
See.
I like to
there
hear
were criticisms that it was too similar to A New Hope, but it was a soft reboot. What do you expect? It was introducing a new generation to the sort of lore of Star Wars or the sort of dynamics of Star Wars. So yeah, I really actually loved it, and then it kind of crashed into the wall.
Well,
I
I
like
think
to hear that.
I think because the last two films, I think I never watched the last two films, but knowing how crappy they are, that has jaded my
Yeah.
initial feeling for the first movie. I did enjoy it. I wasn't super crazy about it.
It has been ruined retrospectively, but at the
Yeah,
time,
it
the
has,
amount of
yeah.
speculation and the amount of possibility that was there was just so enticing.
Yeah, it was hype.
I liked it more than the prequels. Like when it came out, it didn't feel like it's like we said, the second one put the nail in it, but I felt like because this was also led into Rogue One and then Solo. Like it felt like it didn't kill it. Like it kind of brought it back in a way, but it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't like as good as the originals, and it had its flaws. But like it wasn't. I don't think it was that bad, man. I think it was pretty good. I liked Oscar Isaac. I felt like he could have been cooler. I felt like it did set up potential for 2 better movies instead of 2 worse movies.
Mm.
I don't know.
I still blame Kathleen Kennedy for everything. She's the one that either fired specific people that were working on there was another guy that was supposed to direct the last one, and she fired him, and there was all these cool concepts that were coming out. And I'm like, man, we could have gotten a really cool movie.
What was his name? I remember because his name was Colin Trevorrow or something. He was going to direct the second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he got replaced by
Yeah, because
So
of Booker Henry.
It was never the plan for JJ. Wait.
Ryan.
J.J. Abrams set it up. and then
J.J.
it was
Abrams.
supposed-
It was never the plan for him to carry through directing all the other 2.
No, well, Ryan.
No, it was
Johnson-
it was meant to be Colin Trevorrow, and then he released a movie called Book of Henry, which bombed, and they changed it. I think I just looked it up, and there's been 18 directors that Kathleen Kennedy has fired.
Oh my gosh! Why
fired
is this
a lot of
woman still
people.
in
This is
charge
why-
over there? I
This
swear,
is
I
why
don't
I'm saying,
understand.
she doesn't understand.
She has made some of the crappiest decisions for Disney Star Wars.
The only thing good that came out of everything was Rogue One. I
really
liked
liked
Rogue
Rogue
One.
One.
I liked it better than Force Awakens.
Is that
but-
2016?
That's
Rogue
next
One?
year. Yeah, I'm jumping ahead.
Because
but-
I want to rewatch that. Having seen Andor season 1, I want to
Right.
go back and rewatch.
think it is.
I was going to ask you about that, Sam. Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured
We
you
can
wanted to
we can
see the
rewatch
show.
it again.
Definitely.
That movie, I still think that's probably the better one out of most of the stuff they put out. But yeah,
Oh, that scene at the end with Darth Vader coming down the hall. That was
Oh.
felt like something out of a
and
horror
the guy
movie.
in there, the guy with the mask. Sometimes he had to put the mask on to breathe.
I
Over a
forgot
guy.
about him.
So, Gara or something like that. So,
I
The
look
guy
at it.
from I think the Panic Room, also in Black Panther. You know,
Were you talking about Forrest Whitaker?
is that
Saul
him?
Gerrera. Yeah.
He's got that eye that's kind of
Yeah, he was in Andor also.
Well, yeah, but he's supposed to play that character from the Clone Wars anime.
Saul Gerrera.
No, I forgot his character.
Yeah,
from the
he
Clone
was the one that
Wars.
lost his sister
Oh,
in the show. That's him.
okay. Yeah, I'd
He also
forgotten all
shows
those
up in,
little tie-ins.
He also shows up in the game Fallen Order. So
Sashi.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Hey.
But number 2 is another classic, Jurassic World.
Yeah,
I
that was another
actually
one.
enjoy that movie. I
I
still
did, but-
enjoy that movie.
When I saw it a second time, I'm like, it's decent, but it's that sort of typical Hollywood thing. It's all right, well,
Well, it is a
Not as good as
rehash
the first-
of the
yeah.
first one, basically, but it's still
it's
pretty.
still fun. I mean,
Yeah.
But then that's another series that also started
Oh yeah, second and third movie. Oh.
Yeah, I don't like. It's okay, but I was ultimately disappointed with Jurassic World. I had so much hype and excitement for that. I was thinking it was going to be so good. And I rewatched it because I couldn't believe I didn't really like it that much. And I think it was like I never really felt scared in Jurassic World. I never really felt like there was much danger. I felt like one of the only moments that was kind of tense was like early when he's outside the big thing's paddock when it gets out and he's like under the truck right there. That's what I'm talking about. Moments like that. I feel like that was the only moments in that movie where I was like, oh fuck, everything else to me felt kind of like I don't know, like a show more than I was really there and the dinosaurs were about to get me, which I really felt in the first movie, especially. Like
I do feel that the original actually had more of a scary vibe to it.
Well, do you think it's just because by the time Jurassic World came around, it's the novelty of all of that had worn off?
No, not at
You
all.
don't
I would
so?
think so.
Okay.
Watching Jurassic Park again, like it still has tension in it, even when you know what's
Oh,
coming.
yeah.
But I feel like Jurassic World, even the first time around, everything felt safe.
It just felt more adventure-y to me.
Yeah.
Did you read the books? I mean, the Jurassic World
Oh,
book?
yeah, it was a big deal for me
Ooh,
because
that scared the crap out of me, and I was an adult, and I was sure there was a velociraptor under my bed.
it's funny, I read that my parents wouldn't let me see the movie. I was 8 years old in
Oh, wow.
'93, and then so they said, "Oh, you can read the book," which is like an adult fiction.
The book is really scary.
400 like with graphic violence and really scary moments. And so I remember I read that whole thing in like a week as like an 8-year-old, and I would like point out to my parents like, "Do you know how violent this is? Scary and violent." They're like, "You can go ahead and read it." And so I read the book and I loved it, and then they let me see the movie after that. But
Okay.
yes, the book was awesome, especially as a kid. It was
Yeah,
like,
it was very good. I agree. Spider-Verse 2 is the top 3 greatest superhero film ever made. I agree that 65
Really?
was terrible.
You really said Spider-Verse 2 is a top 3 superhero film?
That's the name of his.
Oh, you're just saying. Okay, you're saying his name. His name.
Well,
I just call him Spider-Verse 2.
He made his list on this year.
Yeah, I know. I agree. 65 was that was disappointing. I thought it was pretty bad. And yeah, Jurassic World Dominion was not good. I got so tired of Chris Pratt. Not tired of him. I love Chris Pratt. I like him. But when he kept doing the thing, like with, I even mentioned in my review, like how he's like putting his hand up, to the velociraptors. He's always putting his hand up. And he's like, eyes on me or something. Like, what do you why do you think they're going to just suddenly stop because you have the palms out, talk to the hand? It's just, that was so lame to me. It gave me chills. That's how bad it was.
But Sin, didn't you love the locusts? Weren't they the highlight of the film?
Oh, Lord. The only good thing about that film was that the original cast got put to good use.
Right.
They weren't in there for like 1 minute, so that was the only thing good. But so like in the Jurassic World 2015, that's the first time we see him training the velociraptor. So okay, it makes sense. But by the third movie, when he's doing that to velociraptors he's never really trained before or even been around, it's like, why do you... In what world do you think this is going to make any sense? I don't know. Just...
I was going to say, along with the, because I know you guys said a lot of that was safe, and we know it was a rehash, but I will say the one thing, and they probably should have done more of this. They had a character name, I believe her name was Zara, who was babysitting the kids. What they did with that character, where she got snatched up by the
by that bird, was it the bird thing?
Yes, but then dropped into the lake and snatched out and dropped again, and then swallowed by the mosasaur. That was like, geez, that was brutal.
Oh yeah,
that poor woman.
That.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was something like that happened in the first movie, but I don't think it was a character. It wasn't. That was the last movie you're talking about, right?
No, you're talking about the 2015, 2015 one.
I didn't remember if she had a name. No, she did have a name. She was the babysitter character. And that just hit me. Yeah, that was brutal. That was the most brutal part of the movie. I had forgotten. It'd been so long since I saw it. Yeah, I was thinking it was just like, passerby. No, it was the babysitter.
Oh, yeah.
That was
may the babysitter rest in peace.
Poor lady. She had a bad day.
Sin, your favorite movie, number 3, Furious 7.
Yeah, whatever.
I thought Fast and Furious was your favorite movie series.
I've never watched them.
Not a
I
single
don't-
one.
Is this the one that Paul Walker
Yeah,
was in?
it's the
His
one.
last
Mhm.
one? I did
Yeah.
see the scene, that final scene with him, at the
Yeah.
end.
Paul Turbo.
Say what?
Paul Turbo.
Paul
It's a
Turbo.
joke. It's a joke from some of the show.
Number 4 is Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Meh.
I had it was half and half for me because back then it was kind of a newer introduction, and so I think in some ways it was disappointing slightly, and I thought it was kind of overstuffed in ways that just, like, they were trying to put so much in it. But the one thing I will say that I did like about it, I remember when they had that scene where they had the party at Stark Tower, and it's just like everybody was in the same, like, that, just seeing everybody for like really together,
Oh,
not
yeah.
even for a quest, but just socialize. That was like so bananas to me at the time. Of
And
course,
trying to pick the hammer up.
yeah, that was like, I thought that was great. Yeah,
I was 19 at the time, so
Yes.
I enjoyed it at that time. But maybe if I watch it now,
I remember not being super impressed with the opening scene. I thought it was cheesy with them running through the
Oh,
forest and the
yeah.
slow-mo. That was like kind of bad. Hey, Mike. How you
Hey,
doing? I know it's
Mike.
late where you are. Sorry.
hey Mike, what's going on?
He's probably about headed to bed.
Yes, he is up late. If you
And
know,
just like
his
Simon,
conference.
except he can't stay up late like Simon does. Yeah, it was a bit cheesy.
I feel like I need to rewatch it again just to see how cheesy.
We're okay. We're okay. We're all right. Sin is definitely the legend.
No.
She definitely helped put me on, so I'll defer to her for that.
Especially when she gets mad. Especially when she gets mad at a lot of
Oh.
things that are wrong with Pacific, like Food
But
Bar,
hold
Halloween
on. Time out.
Ends,
Time out.
Fast and
I want to
Furious.
hold on, Arturo. I want to give D props. He's reached the 1K mark on his
Oh.
channel.
Woo,
Thank
let's
you.
go.
Yay.
Let's go.
Good
Much
job.
appreciated.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
D.
Appreciate it. It still feels weird. Like when I go to my channel and I see the number, I'm just like, I'm not used to this, but I'm
Right.
grateful. But it's just still weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's exciting. I'm excited
Yeah.
for you. You're gonna blow past me in no time. I know you
Oh,
are.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sin.
you are. Yeah, you are.
We'll see. We'll see. But like I said,
I'm counting on it.
but I will definitely give you your flowers just as far as you. I mean, you literally. I mean, not to overdo it, but you really did kind of like pluck me out of obscurity. You just kind of randomly found me. You were like, "Hey,
No,
Halloween.
no,
you
you
wanna
found
hang
me.
out? Like you want to do live streams? You want to hang out? You want to be best buzz?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" Like,
It was because you had commented on my stuff before, and I noticed, your title name, D Movieman. So I go and check you out. I'm like, oh, he does movie reviews. Cool. Then I, saw that Halloween trailer reaction, and I was so excited for Halloween. I mean, now, that didn't end up well, but at least we got the ball rolling, right?
yes,
I always
exactly.
like to revisit when Sin gets mad at that, especially Ends. That is so beautiful.
Oh, God. Don't get me started on that. Yeah. I wish I'd seen The Martian on the big screen, Mike. I didn't. Go watch
You guys
that.
like The Martian?
It was good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh, I never made a top 3. Hold on. Sorry.
Oh,
Proceed.
that'd be
I haven't come up with my top 3 list yet. I've been
Um,
such a slacker.
Anybody seen Minions? Number 5, Minions.
I never.
I've only seen the first Despicable Me, and I enjoyed it. It's just I never had the, I didn't purposely avoid the rest of them. It's just that by the time the rest came out, I just kept missing them. So I've only seen the first.
I never saw any of them.
Yeah, me either. For whatever reason, I've just not been drawn to that franchise. I don't know.
I mean,
why.
they
Maybe
made
it's
the
the
Mario
art.
movie, so maybe.
I think it might be the art. I don't like the way the characters look.
And I also think because it's become so oversaturated and commercialized, I think that also probably throws it off too.
Yeah,
There's just
probably.
a lot of it. I mean, it's minions everywhere. I think at the time it was like, what are these? Like, and it was just
right,
kind of
these funny little creatures.
right. But now it's kind of like minions, and I mean, there's kind of its own thing, which is fine for the kids, but it's kind of everywhere now.
So I take it you're not going to go see the third one or the fourth one, whichever one is coming out.
Oh, there's another one coming out?
Oh yeah.
Still? Wow.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it the other day at the movie theater.
Oh
I
wow.
think they played the trailer. I think they played it before the Gilman Teenage Kraken
Oh, that's right.
movie.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh well.
Number
Okay.
6 is
Sorry.
Spectre,
Oh,
James
I
Bond.
didn't really like Spectre.
that was a disappointment. That one.
So
Yeah.
Skyfall was really good.
Except for the opening shot. I'm pretty sure
That
that's
was
the one.
that was a good one, but
that was great. I was gonna say I think the only reason I have a different experience with everyone else is because probably people seeing all of these. I would say I think because the only one I got to see theatrically at the time was Casino Royale, and so everyone else being able to kind of go in and see them on the big screen and enjoy it, and then actually having to wait, all this time for the next film, and then for Spectre, I guess, especially after Skyfall. I mean, nothing was gonna it was gonna be hard trying to top that anyway. But I think that that as a follow up after all that time, I think a lot of people were probably upset. It just didn't hit the same way. Me watching it like in 2020, lockdown and watching all the way through. I think I got this Blu-ray collection that was only like $12. It had all 4 of the films. But I watched it with my mom, and so I guess maybe it works better back to back, being able to watch in that sense. So I enjoyed it from that standpoint, but I can understand like after everything Skyfall was and just the experience of it, I can see where it probably didn't live up to expectations.
yeah.
But
it
when
was-
you're in the mood for a Bond movie, it was a decent Bond. That's what you're saying. It's basically you were in a Bond mood, and it was an alright Bond movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I thought it was pretty solid, and maybe it's because, like I said, I enjoy the new iteration. I came up on Pierce Brosnan. That was my first
Yep.
Bond, GoldenEye. So,
Me
so
too.
I like seeing kind of like in succession at this age. Oh my gosh, I worked at the movie theater, and I was in high school when Casino Royale came out. So, kind of appreciating those films with more mature eye. I think there's something about it that worked for me. But like I said, I understand as a follow up, and just I can understand things that didn't work about it. But I thought it was a fun time for the most part.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't say. I actually haven't seen much of Daniel Craig's James Bond except for Skyfall.
I was going to say, I think you've only seen Skyfall, which,
Yeah,
in my opinion,
Skyfall.
that's the best one.
Yeah,
I
because
Ooh.
Quantum was
Right.
Quantum was
Yeah. No.
yeah, and I think it's and I think it's the same thing. Like it's hard to follow up something like Casino Royale, and so Quantum of Solace also with the writer's strike that didn't help either.
Mm.
So it kind of threw things off, and then with Skyfall, it just trying to once you kind of trying to strike lightning the same place twice is very challenging. So
Yeah.
I just think the perfect ingredients came together with Skyfall, and trying to replicate that, even though there were quality pieces there. Yeah, I get it.
Bond gets it like once a decade, or once every 2 decades. Bond is like the It movie.
Yeah.
They make like a bunch more Bonds until it's like the It movie again.
Mhm.
I guess so. I don't know how it was back before I was, but I feel like since I've been around, there's been like 2 or 3 It Bond movies out of like 10 that have come out.
Yeah, Sashi, I'm actually really excited to watch Timothy Dalton's Bond. I enjoy him as an actor anyway, but I think License to Kill has one of my favorite, at least my top 3
Yeah, that's a good one.
favorite theme songs. Oh, love it, love it, love it. So
Oh, you
I'm
haven't seen the movie yet, then, have you? That's right.
I feel like it's one of those things where I feel like I saw it when I was younger, but it's been way too many years. So I need to like watch it as an adult. So, but yeah, it was
Okay.
always one I was excited to see just because of the theme song. So
Well,
yeah.
I was mostly excited about Living Daylights because of the theme song, because Aha did the theme song for that. Yeah. So, but License to Kill was a better movie, I think, because it was more
Okay.
personal in nature.
Yeah.
And Benicio del Toro in there, real young. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, he
Oh,
was so
wow.
good in that movie.
Number 7 is Inside Out, a unique concept.
I still have to see it, unfortunately.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
good.
I think
Only
I
I've heard great things.
I
That's
like
the
the
emotion, right?
concept.
The emotions in her head, right?
Yeah,
Each
the emotions
Yes.
in her
feeling
head.
happy and sad and angry and
And other places of her brain
Cool.
that kind of like
Coming
indicate different things, like a story idea she had or fears of something. pretty
I
good.
like that. Yeah, I saw it. I liked it. That's good.
Number 8 is Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. I did see this on the big screen. This was actually my first Impossible movie I actually
Yep.
watched.
Yeah.
So I was watching it out of order.
Yeah, you did. You watched it way out of because my mom and dad took you to see it when I was taking Aurelia out of town to a comic convention.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was fun.
it was a good
It
film.
had that girl in there that played in Doctor Sleep.
Yes.
Oh
I
yeah,
think-
Rebecca Ferguson. Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
this
Got
was
my
her.
notice.
This was her first. Was this her first appearance, or this was her
In,
first
in
one,
Mission
right?
Impossible, it was in Mission
Think
Impossible.
so.
That was the first time I
think so,
recognized
too.
her.
But she's been in I think all the others since then, right?
Well,
She was in
the recent
6.
one in
She was
2018.
in 6,
Yeah,
and
and then
she's
she
in
was
this
this new
one
one.
coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is gonna be her third one, I believe.
Hmm.
But now there's that girl from
Yes.
Captain America.
Looking forward to that Mission Impossible
Yeah.
7. Already got my ticket.
Absolutely. Same.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Ever since they dropped, I think I don't know if I told you this before, Sam, but there are certain trailers. You know, because we go to the theater so often, there are certain trailers that get played over and over, and you kind of get tired of it. But then there are some. I don't know if it's like that for you, but some for me, because they're so good, I don't get tired of them.
No.
Yeah, and
No.
that teaser trailer for Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, I was just like every single time,
Yep.
I was just like, "Whoo!"
Yeah,
chills.
I like it. I like it. It's done very well, and you don't. It does it in such a way that you don't really know the entire what the synopsis is really going
I
to
want
be
to know how the
about.
train
It's just
just
these
keeps
different
going off the bridge.
proportions.
That's
Right.
my question. Why is
I
that
guess
train
we'll
going
find
off
out.
the bridge?
Yep. Mhm.
And how they even film that.
Oh, that's right,
You-
because they're showing it on a Wednesday. So I bought the tickets for both of us because you don't have to work at the theater on Wednesday.
Well, that's if I have to work at the new job, though.
Oh, you're gonna have to tell them that you can't come in until later in the day, or I'll just have to get a refund for your ticket.
Number
Right. I was
9.
like, I think Sam's gonna go anyway. Yes.
I'm definitely going.
Number 9 is The Last Hunger Game: Mockingjay Part 2, and I actually finally watched it this year.
Finally, you got
After
to
so
the end
many
of it.
years later, close to, well, almost 10 years, but not quite. So
How
I
was
finally
it?
watched it. Finally. I liked it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like all the movies. I feel like they were a pretty good adaptation of the books.
I think that's
Okay.
that's the only movie series that I like Jennifer Lawrence in. Other than that,
Well, she wears
she was-
thin after a while just because she tends to do that
she was only good
sometimes.
in The Hunger Games, at least in my opinion.
But my only complaint about the Hunger Games movie is that the last 2 movies should not have been 2 movies. They should have just done 1 and kept it at 3. 1 movie.
well,
per
you know they
book.
got to make money.
I know.
And you
But-
know who they like to blame for that?
Who?
Harry Potter. But the thing
Oh,
is,
Harry Potter. Yeah.
But Harry Potter was actually justified, and it was just like everyone's like, "Hey, let's cash in too." Like, no.
Yeah, but those Harry Potter books, they're like as the story
Right.
progressed, those books got so thick.
Yeah.
Each of those later movies, like from number 4 and onwards,
Mhm.
could have easily been 2 films.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Which that's what I'm
nobody-
saying. So it made sense, but it's
Yeah.
like everyone
How
else
long
wanted
was
to make it seem like, "Ooh, we can do that too because we have a book series." And
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work so well. Like in The Hobbit, I don't think it worked well, and it
Oh,
also
yeah.
didn't work well with The Hunger
Well-
Games. They did not.
well-
That book was about the same length as the first 2. There was
Right.
no
Oh wow,
reason.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't have to do that. Unless
No.
wasn't it because they added that extra scene where they, spoiler alert for some, like when they had to go rescue a specific character.
They did add that in, and I'm glad they
That was
added
not
that
in
in
the
because
book.
that was not in the book. You just find out about it in the book. You don't see it happening.
so that addition did work for it.
That yes, definitely.
Okay.
It
Because
definitely
as an avid book reader and adaptations and things like that, I know you most of the time you're probably iffy about stuff being added. So
right.
that's good.
There
I
are
just like-
times where it works. This time it did.
Okay.
I like how the ending, or like near the end, when you just find out, like, well, the rebel
Hey.
leader.
Yep. Not everybody. I don't think Dee's seen them.
I still gotta watch it.
Yeah.
I gotta watch all of them actually.
Yeah. Don't be too. Don't be too specific, Arturo.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Number 10, The Martian. The Martian Man.
Yep. That was a good movie,
Mhm.
in my opinion. Now I need to listen to the book. I heard the book is really good.
Oh, I need to add that to my list. Sin, I don't know if I told you already, but I have been diving deep into the Audible experience. Like it,
Oh, have you?
I had already started like with 2020 and the road trips, and I had told you Gone Girl and some of the other stuff we were listening to, but it just has really ramped up lately. I guess I've just been finding a bunch of stuff, and now I guess I'm more because I wasn't used to the whole audiobook thing. I think it was a little more awkward. I'm used to physical copies and things like that, but I think now I'm very cognizant. Now that I've gotten used to it, I'm very cognizant of how like I can basically do anything and be listening to it, like chores.
Exactly.
I can be cooking, dish, like anything.
Yes.
Yeah, even in the
Yeah.
shower, I have a little mic, a little thing. I have a little
Okay, well, I
speaker.
don't listen to books in the shower, but you can definitely multitask with
Mhm.
audiobooks
Yeah.
for a lot of things, and that's the only way I can read
Hmm.
because I don't have time
Hmm.
otherwise. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love them. But also, if you want to check out, there's also other audiobook services where you can get books for quite a bit cheaper than Audible.
Okay.
So there's like Chirp Books, CHIRP,
Hmm.
and they routinely have sales of books, and some are really, really cheap compared to Audible prices. Some of the exact same books that you'd find on Audible can be found on
Oh.
Chirp.
Okay. Cool.
So if you want to like check them out, and also if your local library is affiliated with like Overdrive, I think
Hmm.
it's the name of the service. You can
Oh, I've
get
heard of
you
that.
can yeah you can get books free through them too.
Cool.
So yeah. Well, welcome to the world of audiobooks, Dee.
Well, that's it for the list.
That's it for the top 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in February, we got. Okay, well, I'll mention this one: Kingsman: The Secret Service, the first
Mm.
one.
Oh yes, you watched the first one. That's right.
That movie is crazy.
It is.
It is crazy.
Samuel Jackson. Oh my gosh,
I've
the way
heard,
he talked with that Mike Tyson lisp.
yeah,
I had
Oh my,
forgotten that he
yes.
but you know
And
what? Also,
yeah.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I was gonna say what shocked me the most. I mean, like I think on the outside looking in at the trailer, I figure, I mean, it looked fun. It looked like I always like the kind of CIA, Secret Service, like all those type of films. I'm always into that. But I didn't know it was gonna be like it was gonna lean so far into the R rating, like with the violence and the sexual. Like, I mean, it really like did stuff I wasn't expecting. So I was like, oh,
Yep.
all right, we're here.
Yep.
You know, another film series that Sin really likes is 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh come on.
Her favorite movie series.
No, I haven't even watched it at all.
I can only
I
imagine Sim's reaction to
refuse.
that.
I
My friend Matt,
refuse.
my friend Matt at the theater mentioned how there would be like fights that happened.
What?
Like literally a fight
Fights
in the
that happen?
theater.
Wait,
Or
what?
something.
Why?
Yeah, I don't
Why would
know.
people
What?
fight
I
over it?
don't know. At one point, he said someone punched a hole somewhere in one of the 50 Shades movies that was there at the time.
What the heck?
Crazy stuff.
I need to talk to him and find out
Yeah.
what that was about.
Yeah, there was some other stuff that happened too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I will say this too. I will say this though, because I was kind of like, it was one of those that I went because I just kept hearing stuff about it. I was just like, I was like, I'm probably gonna regret this, but let me just say it so I can say I've seen it. I always go to the theater. I really don't. I don't really don't need an excuse to go to the theater anyway. That was one of the more memorable experiences at the theater because it was nothing but like older women at the theater, and they were going wild the entire.
What?
I was kind of like, oh my, yeah, they were
That's
having.
funny.
Oh my!
Oh my goodness gracious.
I remember
Oh my
when in my theater when the last 50 Shades came out. Like I remember at the end, a lot of women cheered at the very end of that. I'm like, okay.
I forgot it that the last one came out when you were working at the theater.
2018.
Do you remember
Yeah.
the little like Melanie Griffith was not approving at all
Yes,
of
I
her
was like,
daughter's role in that? And I'm like, look, Melanie, I remember some movies you were in.
oh, I know, I know.
So
Well, I remember the one with what was it, Shining Through? There was a one scene with that.
that wasn't super graphic though.
Okay, not graphic, but still.
I've seen her in some other stuff, but it was just I don't know.
Are you talking about Body of Evidence?
No, it was called Shining Through.
Oh, the one you're talking about that was explicit. That's the one you're talking about.
Oh no, he Arturo was mentioning Melanie Griffith in Shining Through. She had a sex scene with Michael Douglas, but I was telling like it wasn't
Oh
super
no,
explicit.
no! I got that part. No, I was saying was the one of the ones you were actually thinking of was what is that called? Is Brian De Palma? Body of Evidence is the wrong one.
I think
But I
that's
know
Madonna, right?
that's Madonna. There's another one.
Was it something about double?
Yeah. Body Double.
Body double.
Is that the one of the ones you're thinking of?
No, it was another one where she played some druggy stripper.
Oh, okay.
That one was the one I was thinking about. I've seen Body Double, but I don't remember much about it.
Well, then, doesn't that mean she's just being a hypocrite about that? I mean, her daughter is an adult. She can act.
So technically, you could call her a hypocrite if, in my mind, if she was still playing those parts, but then yet telling her daughter not to. Mm-hmm. Maybe she has come to regret those things that she did, and that's why, that's not, to me, that's not necessarily hypocritical. But
Fear City.
Is that the one? Yeah, who was in that?
Fear City.
Well, I mean, come on,
Tom Berenger, Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
Her daughter
Tom
is
Berenger.
an adult.
I remember that movie. I remember her doing like this dance with this like this big thing that you can wrap around your neck, and she was like sliding it in between certain places.
Oh.
Yeah, that one, Sashi.
Has anybody seen Chappie?
I didn't want to.
I initially thought that was a sequel to District 9 and found out it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a disappointment, but
Chappie?
It did have its good moments, but I was a big fan of the Antwoord, the band that were in it. So
that was animated, right?
Yeah.
Chappie?
The Antwoord.
No.
Yeah, the South African band.
Yeah.
Ninja. Yeah.
No, it was live action.
Oh, I thought it was animated. Okay, no, I definitely have not seen that.
I'm just jumping back onto 50 Shades. No one actually knows if it's a good book adaptation because the pages are stuck together.
Ew. Yikes.
Okay.
There was a Cinderella live action.
I've never seen that one.
If I'm going to be honest, that's one of the best ones in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw you had mentioned that before. I just never watched
Has
that
anybody seen Divergent? The Divergent?
Yes.
No.
I have. It's based on a series of books.
Is that the one we have?
Yes, I think I have maybe the first two. The first movie was decent, but then I didn't like where it started to go in the subsequent films. I feel like the book was better.
Is it Divergent, Insurgent, and Detergent? I always get that mixed up.
I can't remember what the last one is. I don't.
Oh, is it Allegiant or something like that?
That sounds right. I'll go with that.
It's crazy how they never finished that. They just said we're gonna leave this alone.
Oh,
because
movie.
It just wasn't doing too well.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody here seen Maggie?
Yes.
Maggie, is that an action movie? No, wait, I don't know. I don't know what that movie is.
It's an Arnold movie. What's the girl's name that plays her? The daughter.
Abigail Breslin.
Breslin, yeah.
Breslin, that her name? It's a story about his daughter has been infected with a zombie virus.
Oh.
So she's slowly dying. Mm-hmm. And it's
probably the most depressing zombie movie you could see. It's like society is able to maintain the pandemic, but it's still affecting people.
Yeah, they're taking people away and just going ahead and proactively killing them. And he does not want them to do that, so he keeps her with him. And I just look at it as like a metaphor for a parent that has a child that has a terminal illness.
Right.
That's kind of what the movie makes me think of, and it's so freaking sad.
Sad.
It's very sad. And I thought Arnold did a really good job in the role too.
I think all the actors in there did a good job.
Yeah.
The emotion from the actress, and then of course Arnold.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen Arnold cry.
Can't.
Does he cry in that one?
I don't think he does.
I don't think I ever remember him
I
crying.
haven't
in
seen
that.
him cry either. Right. Right. Okay. Does he cry in
He's
Collateral
cried
Damage?
once in his life.
Does he cry in
cried when
Collateral
his-
Damage? I don't
Or
remember.
baby girl was born. He didn't cry when his son was born, when his daughter was born.
His firstborn.
Yeah.
Mm.
Does he have a daughter?
Yes, he has like 2 daughters and 3 sons.
He cried when the first daughter was born. That's it.
Okay. That was the one that was brought to the
And when
set
his
of
first
T2,
pet died.
and his face is all jacked up, and it freaked her out.
When his first pet died, Arnold cried.
Oh, only when the first one died?
Well, then he toughened up after that. He still got sad, but he didn't cry.
Oh.
But yeah, Maggie is just a long, sad story.
Yeah, it's sad. It is sad.
But I mean, I feel that it's only good for one watch, and then you move on. Then there's another Sin's favorite movie, Mad Max: Fury Road.
Yay!
Never.
Sin's
my
favorite
goodness.
movie.
Oh,
I think
Lord.
it's really one of the best movies ever. I love it so much.
Should
I
I
was-
like zoom up on Sin right now? Let me zoom up on Sin right now.
No, you don't need to do that.
I want
I
to see
was-
this.
So I was watching that movie with a girlfriend, and they're having this. It's just basically this long chase movie. That's
Yeah.
what it is. And when there was the scene where they're having this big high octane chase, and these jokers on these long sticks or whatever the heck it was, and they're
Yeah.
just being like swung about, and they're playing this guitar stuff.
Yeah.
And we just both looked at each other. We're like, "What the heck? This
I
is so
loved it.
stupid." Oh my gosh, I hated it so much. I know it's
Wow.
super
Yeah,
popular.
it was Sin. It sucked.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one, but most people seem to really like it, and I hate it. I
It
just
is
thought was
highly
ridiculous.
regarded, which makes me happy that usually
Oh
my
my
opinions
gosh.
don't align with other opinions, critical opinions, but I just love it. I
Yeah, it
love
was
that
an
it's nonstop
experience, all
action.
right.
I love that it's nonstop action. It's my favorite movie of the decade, and probably
That
one of my
one?
favorite. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think it's one of my favorite movies. Like top 10 for sure, maybe top 5. It's top 5 territory. Like it's one of the all-time great films. I think. I really think that, and I've watched it many times since it came out.
Oh
I've
my
watched
gosh.
it a number of times.
So,
I can
Sin.
only handle the once. Sorry,
It's the
Colin.
kind of-
we
it's the
we,
kind
we
of movie
part
that-
ways on this one.
It's the kind of movie I wish I could make. Like
Oof.
I'm really impressed. But I don't think there's anything wrong. It's as close to perfect as we get. I love because I love
gotta-
crazy action and I love that it's just fast paced and cool and really good action. And it's just the production value is really good. And
I just want to note that Colin's been smoking drugs throughout this live stream.
yes. But this
So
is I always
this is
think
a
that.
factor to consider.
This has always been my opinion, though. I'm just, so I mean, I don't know what else to say, but I regard it like as good as any movie, really. Like as it's up there with all the classics. I think it's a classic of all time, and it's one of my favorite movies ever. I'm so glad I saw it in the theater. I was so excited. I mean, it was one that it exceeded my expectations, and my expectations were high. Like most movies fall short. Like it's at the point where most movies, like even this year, I was still excited for Jurassic World and Star Wars and stuff, and they just never quite live up to it. But Mad Max exceeded it, and I will say, because I'm rambling, I know, but Furiosa, the prequel is the most expensive production ever in Australian history, and it's being
What
filmed
the
right now.
heck?
It's currently being filmed. It's going to come out next summer, I believe. Chris Hemsworth's in it, and Anna Taylor-Joy is playing a young version of Charlize Theron's character. And
Wait, I thought
supposed to be-
Charlize was coming back for that.
No, it's her character, but he originally wanted to, but no, it's too late. So
Oh,
they
thank goodness.
recast her as that Anna Taylor-Joy, I think.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, they recast her as some famous young actress, and it's not only is it like the biggest production ever, but it says the opposite of Fury Road, because instead of a quick, fast action movie, it's going to be like kind of a drawn out, epic movie that kind of like has a lot of world building and stuff. So
Okay.
I'm real. That's like part of my most
Maybe I'll
anticipated.
give that a chance because she's not in it. Turo, please, come on.
That was your face reaction.
Maybe I'll give that one a chance. I don't know. We'll see. I didn't like
You
the
don't like
character
Charlize
Fury.
Theron?
No, I don't care for her too much at all.
Oh,
No.
I like her. She's one actress that actually it stands
I'm
out to me. I like more than that.
Not
And I
really
like
a
Tom Hardy a
fan.
lot too.
I like
really
Tom Hardy. I did not like the movie this movie that he was in. I did not like her character at all. And so when I found out they were going to make a prequel, I was just like, no thanks, I won't. But she's not going to be in it. It's not going to be some crazy wacky action stuff going on. Maybe I'll go check it out. I don't know.
Trailer will probably be out, 6 months.
I didn't realize when it was coming out because they've been talking about it forever.
Right. Yeah.
So
They finally.
What do you like about Tom Hardy?
I think he's a really good actor. That's one of the
Yeah,
main
I
things
think
I
he's-
like
I
about
can't
him.
stand him.
He's got an intensity that's a little scary to me.
I think
No,
yeah.
you don't. So what is it? What is it about him you don't like?
I don't know.
Well,
Just
Court
can't
Just can't
stand
put
it.
your
doesn't
you
like
just
Well-
don't. Okay.
Yeah, he mumbles a lot as well. Can barely
Yeah, he
make out
kind
what
of
he's
does.
saying.
Yeah, he kind of
Yeah.
does. He
I
does do
like-
that.
I like
Cindy,
his intensity.
I know. I'm just very aware that he's acting all the time.
Really?
Really?
Okay, so it doesn't feel like it comes off naturally to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Insidious Chapter 3.
Have you seen
How was
Bronson?
that one?
Are you asking me?
Have anyone seen
I
Bronson?
have not. I haven't. It's a jail movie, and I'm not a huge fan. I heard it was good, but
It was Tom Hardy. I just think he has a good range, even though I think I understand what you mean, Simon. Where I feel like I always kind of know it's Tom Hardy somehow. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I think I know it's connected to what you're saying. But to me, there's something charismatic about it that I just like his characters. I like he has something that is maybe it's something intriguing about it, like it's mysterious. But he puts that into a range of characters, so that's what I like about it. But I can see how it can maybe go the other way too.
I loved him in Warrior. Loved him in
Never
that.
saw that one.
Oh my gosh, he was. I felt like he was. I think I was. That might have been the first movie where I noticed him as an actor.
Yeah.
And I thought he was really, really good in there. He was a little turd bucket for a good portion of it because he was just such an asshole. Just that had the very prickly nature to him. But then you started to find out more and more as to why he was acting that way. And then also Joel Edgerton in it was really good. Do you not know the premise of it, Colin?
I forget. Is Warrior the one where he's a fighter?
Yeah, they're both
He's a
MMA
boxer,
fighters.
a fighter,
Yeah,
MMA
he
fighter?
and his brother are both MMA fighters, and they
Yeah,
do
that
this
one. I never-
tournament. Then they come together in the final fight.
It just looked too much of a drama. I just can't go for drama.
It is a drama, and that's not really my thing. But for whatever reason, this movie really clicked with me. I thought it
Yeah.
was really good. And Nick Nolte
Probably.
played their father, and he was excellent in there.
Yeah, I could probably watch that one.
It's
Oh,
good.
okay.
It's sad, but it's good. I wanted to address this question. I have not ever seen this movie, but I've seen the trailer for it. Have you
No,
seen
I
it?
that's
tried to
one-
watch it, but it was too much.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's one that I was real excited for, and then by the time it was on streaming, I was just like, actually, I don't care. I feel like if I was younger, I would have watched it, but I feel like I'm at the age now where if enough critics say something is bad or terrible, then I'll probably be like, yeah, I probably won't. I have to be really, really excited to ignore what all the critics say, I guess, because I just feel like movies disappoint me even when stuff like Jurassic World and Star Wars and all that shit's disappointing you, it can be hard to give new stuff a try when everyone's saying it's trash. I just feel like, and it looked cool at first, but then everyone was like, it's a waste of time.
It just looked like a first-person shooter, and I don't like those, so I was never really interested.
I love trying
Yeah,
to
I got
get original ideas. I think point of view should be used more in film. Like, I'm surprised it's not. I think it's a real effective way to shoot scenes. But Maybe I should watch that movie sometime.
Oh, I don't know what happened to D. Hope he can come back. What were you starting to say,
I
Simon?
I was just going to say I got about a third of the way through it, and then just kind of lost interest.
That's not encouraging. maybe I won't watch it. I just do like checking out stuff that's really new, like something like point of view. It is a cool idea, but I feel like story or whatever is just gonna be kind of annoying, almost. Yeah, if you want to not.
So, how was Insidious Chapter 3?
Okay, so
That came out
Insidious, y'all. I went to a mystery movie Monday yesterday at Regal.
I saw you do the out the car thing today.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be Insidious. I thought it was going to be
Right.
Insidious, and it was something totally different. And so in preparation, I like binge watched all the Insidious movies. I was watching like Insidious 4, like just up until a few moments before I left. Like I finished
so
it
is
and then
this-
got up and left. So
So the fifth one's about to come out.
the fifth one is coming out. I actually did buy my ticket for that. I wasn't super crazy about the first Insidious, so I never had watched the others. And then I go and I rewatch the first one and then watch 2, 3, and 4. And I actually like Insidious 3 and 4 more than 1 and 2. And those aren't even about the characters in the first 2 movies. Like
So
Patrick Wilson is in the first one.
Is Patrick? That's the one with Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, the first 2 have
Insidious?
Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne, and
I never saw it, but I really like Patrick
Lynn
Wilson.
Shay, I think she plays the psychic, and she's the only one that's been in all of them.
Okay.
But Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne are coming back for this next one, so they're returning back
nice.
to those 2 characters.
Speaking of Patrick Wilson, if you ever make it to, I don't know, I'd forgotten until you said Patrick Wilson. He's the star of Fargo season 2, and he's awesome.
Who is he?
I never knew
okay.
who he was till that.
Speaking of Fargo, you never
Yeah.
knew who he was until that. Are you serious?
Yeah, because I never saw Insidious or.
You never watched Watchmen?
Wait, he was in Watchmen the movie?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I guess I didn't know who he was, and I just didn't remember he was.
Wasn't he like the Batman character type? Was that?
Yeah,
or
the
was
old
he-
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was that guy.
So
Oh,
Insidious
oh my
Chapter
god! Okay,
3
so I
came
guess-
out this year.
Yeah,
And you like that one.
I did like that one, and I like Chapter 4 as well. I don't
Oh,
know.
fuck. Did you guys watch any Fargo?
Yes, I was getting ready to talk about that. We have
Yeah.
1 episode left of season 1.
Oh my god! Oh, you like it enough to watch it at all?
Oh yes, absolutely. I plan on
Awesome.
I plan on continuing on with season 2 and season 3. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so,
Oh yeah.
I'm so happy because I'm blown away by it. I love it, and I'm always thinking other people would like. I feel like not enough people know about it because it's funny
Simon
and
has refused to
mysterious.
watch it just because you have suggested
because I
it. But
hype it too much.
but maybe if I suggest it, maybe Simon, you'll give it a
Maybe
chance. It's
Simon
actually
will.
not bad.
No. It's
Um,
kind of well. It's actually well
it's
crafted.
it's like a black comedy is what it is.
yeah,
And
That's
Billy
actually
Bob
intense.
Thornton is really good. He's really
so
good.
good. Billy Bob
He's such
is
a
my
little
favorite.
piece of crap. Though.
He's-
It's like,
He's like that's what I like about it is I was thinking about it is because in most of the scenes are Martin Freeman or Billy Bob, and they're really kind of the villains of the story. Like they're bad guys in a way.
oh
but,
yeah.
But so
They
much
are.
of the show, like you're watching the bad guys, and it's kind of fun. It's like you're rooting for them. You want them to fail, but you want to keep watching them too. And I'm so glad you guys like it. That's awesome. And I love.
Yeah, have you seen Fury? That was something.
Wait, So you guys saw. So you know Aces now. Aces. You know when Billy Bob says
Aces.
Aces.
Yeah. Aces.
Yeah, that's one
when
of my favorite scenes when he's
he's
when
the
Aces-
dentist. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything is like aces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've gotten to that. We're at the last. Okay. So Colin. All right. I'm just going to give you this caveat.
Okay,
If Martin Lawrence. Wait.
Freeman.
Is that his Freeman? Oh my gosh. If Martin Freeman. Okay, can you pop him back in? If Martin Freeman and Billy Bob do not get their comeuppance, I'm going to be pissed. I will be pissed.
I mean,
Because they deserve it. They're both pieces of crap. And
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I want them to
looks
get
very,
what's coming to them.
I mean,
Okay, don't say anything.
no spoilers.
Okay.
I'm excited that you like it a lot and that you're fans of Patrick Wilson because that's just gonna make you like season 2 even more. 'Cause
Oh yeah,
he's
I like Patrick
so
Wilson.
good.
Plus, you also said that other dude is in there, the Indian guy,
a lot of dudes too.
the little Indian guy from Longmire.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I
haven't-
like him, so I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to. to him.
Now, Colin,
that
have you seen Fury? That was one I suggested.
Okay. No. Okay. Here's actually needed to ask Simon for that
Oh.
You didn't
password
watch
again.
it?
Well, no, I wanted to, and then I couldn't find the streaming site. I couldn't find it to stream, and so I was
Oh.
like, I'll just ask Simon for the password on the next chat if Simon could put it up. I didn't want to ask for it on the.
I have two. I have another source, by the way, one that Mike from Did You See That shared with me. You could try that as well. I'll share that.
I do.
with you
It's
later.
on Fury's on my watch list. I do want to watch it. I will watch it for next.
So good. Have you seen that,
I will.
D?
Steady.
Is D frozen?
We're having internet issues.
Aw,
My
D,
end,
you're
people are
frozen.
kinda lagging.
It is audio. He's blinking, but his audio's not.
Oh, there you
Oh, there you go. There you go. Have you seen Fury?
I know what Fury is, but I haven't seen it. I need to watch it.
Oof.
Oh.
I will
It's-
watch it. You know
it's
what
really
though?
good.
I forgot to say, my whole life has been Zelda until just like a week ago.
Oh.
I barely watched or did anything but play Zelda. And then
Okay.
I went to look for Fury,
Fury.
and I'd lost that website because there's actually a couple things I want to watch on that site. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, maybe by the next stream,
I
you
will.
will have watched it. It's good, D. You should definitely check it out. I mean, it's a war movie, so it's it's not like I'm not crazy about war movies myself, and it's a tank movie of all things. And you would think, like, how can this be? But I have never been like there's this scene in there where they go up against this German tank.
Mhm.
3 American tanks going up against the German tank, and
Mhm.
it was one of the most suspenseful scenes I have watched on the big screen.
Okay.
And I was thinking to myself, these are just tanks duking it out, and I'm getting so tense because
Right.
that German tank was almost impenetrable. The only weakness it has was their butt. You have to get around behind it and shoot it up the tailpipe, basically.
Oh wow.
And it was destroying these American tanks, and it was very tenseful.
Tenseful, you mean.
Very
Tenseful.
Well, I will say this. You already know, and we've discussed it ad nauseum, but I feel like 1917 helped me appreciate war movies a little bit more. And granted, I understand it's still not my go-to, but it's just,
Right.
I don't know, when you have a certain lens and you're able to kind of appreciate the story in a more introspective way, then it kind of helps you a little bit more with films that don't necessarily have that same focus. So I probably really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I would now watch it, and you're not crazy about it, but I have a feeling that you'll like it because it's
I
pretty
thought it
solid
was well
storytelling and
crafted.
really good acting. Yeah,
Yeah.
and very good character arc that you see happening with the main character because he starts off, and by the end of the movie, he's a totally different person.
Right.
I
Because the
forgot
story is
Scott
told through
Eastwood was
his-
in the movie.
Who?
Scott Eastwood.
Oh, Scott Eastwood. Yeah,
Eastwood.
I had completely forgotten he was in there.
Terminator Genesis.
Okay, so
Simon, you have
I
it. Can you
actually
put
enjoy that movie a bit.
the link in the chat. In the
It's just
private chat?
it's not one of
I
one of
DM'd
the
it.
better ones for sure. But I really like the whole idea of them changing up the Terminator going back and rescuing little Sarah. I thought that was interesting. I like that concept, and then I like the scene where they show the Terminator from the '84 movie,
Yeah.
and then the older Terminator,
Yeah.
fighting. I liked that. I don't think that Amelia Clarke was a good choice for Sarah Connor. She was terrible.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. And the dude who played Kyle, he wasn't so great. The guy, he
Ooh.
wasn't very good. And the guy who played John Connor, but
Yeah.
I enjoy it more than Dark Fate. That's saying something.
Well, Dark Fate was just a fan fiction.
Oh
Dark
gosh.
Fate was just a fan
You know what the
Oh,
issue
that's
is?
true. You can't top those two at all.
Yeah, it's not even possible. But I think the issue is that this is just from what I remember. I feel like I liked I think I liked the concept of Genesis more than the execution.
Yeah.
I liked the execution of Dark Fate, like kind of the darker aspects. I wish they had kind of
Been able to-
traded certain aspects of it. Like I think if they had, like if Sarah Connor was cast right, if Kyle was cast right, then everything else would have kind of fallen in. Because I think there were aspects of it that were fun, but it was just something off about the tone and I also think I mean, you can't help it. But you know, the original Terminator was very R-rated. I understand the
This
second
was
one.
PG-13.
Yeah, and I understand like with the because is what's the word? I'm sorry. Judgment Day is PG-13, right?
Oh no.
No, it is R.
Oh, it's R.
Okay. I just want to make sure I thought
Yeah,
so.
it's R.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So this is like an R-rated, you know, franchise. We got that whole scene where he's dissecting his, you know, his arm and a lot of intense stuff. So to me, that was one of my bigger issues. It's just like lean into that, make this like go there, and then that plus the casting is what like really killed it for me.
Yeah.
And so I think the only thing I really appreciated about the next film is that it had more of the grounded tone. It didn't feel quite as cheesy, but then we saw some of the other stuff they messed up with that. So
I'm gonna look up like
It's a fan fiction.
R-rated movies. Because I miss the days when R-rated movies were like the movie to see. Because I remember I was like 7 when Terminator 2, 6 or 7 when it was the biggest movie ever, and it felt like, oh, I'm never gonna see that. Look, I'll be so old when I get to see the coolest movie.
right.
And like, I wanted like, when was the last time it felt like the coolest movie was exclusively for adults? Like, I don't know, not like a 50 Shades of Grey thing, but like actual
Yeah, no,
like
I get what. Yeah,
blockbuster.
right.
Deadpool.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Deadpool,
maybe.
that's true.
That's
Yeah,
a good,
maybe.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's probably a good one. Yeah, not as many though, but that man, those were the days.
Yeah,
Yes.
softening some of these stories up like they did to try to bring in a larger audience has been a detriment. In my
That's
opinion.
why I
Yeah,
don't
for
think
sure.
the new Blade movie is going to be good because they want to make it PG-13.
Yeah, we're not going to
Yeah.
count Blade. We're not even going to. Blade doesn't exist. Will never exist.
Wait, the
They've
new
been
one,
having
you're
so
not
much
even
production
gonna
issues
see
with
the
Blade.
trailer for the new one. You think?
What's
Are you
that
talking about
called?
the new one or what Blade?
Yes, the new one.
Oh,
You're so doubtful. There's no chance it's gonna be because it's PG-13. Oh, that's
PG
why. That's why.
PG-13,
Yeah.
but also the casting.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about the casting at all.
I mean,
No,
you gotta say Mahershala Ali is a better actor than Wesley Snipes.
Wesley
I don't know if
Snipes
he's
is a better
better.
Blade.
No, he's not.
Blade. I don't know if
Wesley
he's a
Snipes
better
is a better
Blade.
I think he
Blade.
has the look of Blade. Wesley Snipes had the look of Blade.
Mahershala
Every
is-
time I think of Wesley Snipes, I think of Blade.
He is Blade too,
Blade.
He did a good job with the role. I mean, yeah.
for sure.
Sin, did you see? I'm not going to because I feel like there's no point in me trying to subject myself to it. But did you ever see Blade Trinity? Because that's another one that pulled the PG-13.
I did, and the best part about that was Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
It's not a very good movie. My favorite Blade movie is the second one, the one that Guillermo
Yeah.
del
I do
Toro
like the
did.
second one.
With the
I like the opening.
Yes.
I like the
That was
opening
so
of the
gnarly.
first movie. Like when he goes into that dance club.
The
and he
blood
just
riff?
starts
Yeah,
killing people.
that's true. Agreed. He's perfect. He's one of the best casting.
He was
One of the best
cool.
castings in a movie like that I've seen.
Oh, another R-rated movie, Joker, was a big
Oh, yeah,
hit.
Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Which is funny that even the two R-rated hits were still superhero movies, Joker and Deadpool.
You mean
They
like
were
comic book movies? I wouldn't call Joker a superhero.
Speaking
True.
of,
But comic book, I get what you mean.
Yeah,
Ant-Man came out this year, the first one.
Oh yes, Dee likes Ant-Man.
I like
I
it.
do.
a lot.
That
Back
first
up.
one was a fun time because it just
The
yeah.
first one.
You just the perspective. I don't know, just a lot of. I think what worked. I think I've said this to you before, but I think a lot of what I appreciated about it is that it was literally taking kind of this world spanning in the world. You know, huge stakes, huge this, huge villain, everything, and it was quite literally shrinking everything so that the perspective, even just the stuff of him. Shrinking into the bathtub and then the water and all, like little quirky stuff like that. And then, like I think I've said this before, but I never expected to watch a battle sequence and then Thomas the Tank Engine suddenly, blows up out of nowhere. So
You know what? Now that I think
That
about it,
seems
I
funny.
remember when he first shrank and the Latino guy's taking a shower. And didn't he say something like when he looked at him, oh, that's not a pretty scene or something like that?
yeah,
Oh,
he's like,
I
oh,
forgot.
Something funny, something to that degree. I don't remember. I
yeah.
don't remember. That was funny. And then of course the Latino guy, okay, just backing up.
It's backing up. I miss them. I really miss those characters. They were
weren't
not
in
in
the last
the
one.
third one. Yeah, I was hoping they would be, but they weren't.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and then Luis and his stories, that was a big
Yeah.
part of what it made it so funny and just kind of in a different way, playing telephone and these conversations. Yeah, I miss that
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, now another Marvel movie, a reboot which failed, was the Fantastic Four.
Oh,
Is that this year?
Yeah,
Oh,
You
I
yeah,
have-
that
remember
was
seeing
that.
promotions for it. Yep.
Oh, wow, that's the one where they just basically filmed it all in one place, like it takes place in basically the lab or something, or some.
I don't know. I know Michael B. Jordan. No, yeah,
Michael B.
Michael
Jordan, yes,
Michael B.
and
Jordan is in that.
The girl who played
Megan
Megan.
Levy.
Yeah, she's in there.
What, Kate
Um,
Mara?
And I think the guy that
yes,
played in Top Gun Maverick was also in there.
yes, he was. The guy who played Rooster.
Oh yeah, Miles Teller. Mhm.
Yep, I forgot. I forgot he was in that. So there's a
Yeah.
movie I'd like to mention, Arturo, in case you skip over it. Everest. Do you remember Everest?
Ooh, that was
Oh
a
man,
rough one.
I remember that.
Ooh, that was depressing.
Right?
I had to find my happy place after that one.
Right. It
Wait.
was.
Which one was Everest?
Everest was the one about the. I actually remember when that happened.
Was
And-
Jake Gyllenhaal in it?
No, it had
That's a different-
it had the
It
dude
had,
who
like-
played John Connor in Terminator Genesis. What's his name?
Yeah.
The guy who played in the second Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh, Jason
It
Clarke.
also had the guy.
That yeah.
It's funny. It had multiple references of Terminator in there. You had that actor, and then you had another actor that played Judgment in Judgment Day. I think Terminator Judgment Day with Christian Bale.
Oh no, Salvation. That was
Salvation. Okay, sorry, Salvation.
So Everest.
And then wasn't the girl wasn't it the
Oh,
one that was pregnant?
the-
Her name was something, Sarah or something.
But also
I
the
just
tall,
remember, like,
the really tall lady in Everest. She's the one who played
Oh, that
the golden girl in like the Guardians movie.
Oh
That
yeah,
is the one
Elizabeth
with
Debicki.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah,
Oh,
Becky.
yeah.
Mhm.
With
Yeah.
Keira Knightley, Josh Brolin.
Yes.
Jake Gyllenhaal's in that. He's like
Wait, he
a
was?
guy. Yeah, he's not
Oh,
like in
so,
a
yeah, I
lot.
totally forgot Jake was in that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's yeah.
Isn't
it was
Bryan
that was
Cranston in
good.
it too?
I think he is.
Yeah, I think Bryan Cranston's in it also.
I had forgotten he was in there. It's been I've seen it twice.
I saw it twice too. It's a good, serious,
Yeah.
heavy movie, but it's really well made.
And so
like
then
it.
I started researching Everest, and it's eerie, you guys. The
Yeah.
bodies that are still up there.
Yeah.
And the one in the cave or the one outside this cave or something, and they were talking about how when they passed by, this was before this person died, and they were still making noise, and there's nothing anybody can do for them. Because they're people that are kind of like already up in that element, they're trying to survive themselves. It's just like I don't get why
like the
people,
Titan sub.
I just
like,
I don't understand why people
who's
want to
gonna
risk
save you?
themselves that way. I just
Yeah.
don't get it.
And you know what's interesting?
Speaking of which,
is
did you see
people-
that Julian Sands has been confirmed dead?
yeah.
No.
I heard that remains were found.
Yeah.
Doggone.
Yeah.
I loved the Warlock movie. I had a crush on Julian Sands. Poor guy. Oh.
And he was just hiding,
I mean,
right?
I figured I figured.
Always have a buddy.
He'd been missing for too long. I thought
5
he
months.
did. I thought was he completely by himself?
I think
Did
so,
he
yeah.
go off completely by himself? Oh man,
My dad does that. It's scary. I'm like, Dad, don't.
it's so
don't do
dangerous.
that. Yeah. He likes to go off to Colorado and just hike around by himself.
Doggone.
Mm.
That's
I was
depressing.
gonna say, I made a mistake. I was thinking, in my head, I was thinking Bryan Cranston. I was thinking actually Josh
Josh
Brolin.
Brolin, yeah, because
Yeah,
when you
it was
said
Josh-
Brian, I was like, well, did he play Josh Brolin's dad or something?
Right, exactly. But I was gonna say it's interesting because people were talking about, we're bringing up Everest in regards to this whole Titanic submarine situation and how people
Right.
with money just kind of they want to push the limits and try all these things and then just kind of head first into danger without kind of considering the consequences.
Right. It's crazy. I just think it's crazy. Like, it's crazy if you're only doing it, or if a big part of why you're doing it is to tell someone. Like, because I feel like, yeah, but no one really cares, and you're risking your life just to be
Some
like,
people
yo, I
like
did that.
get this weird thrill by
Yeah.
putting themselves in danger. That's just the way they are.
Like, that's-
I can't identify at all.
Yeah, that's
But,
almost more. I don't identify to either one, but I feel like I respect people who are just like do it for the passion. rather than people are like, I get to tell people like I saw the Titanic. It's like, I don't know. We all did in cameras. We all,
But maybe
same
that's their
camera.
passion, though, Colin.
If it's their passion, it's cool. You know.
I still don't identify, but whatever. It is their life. I just
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
get
they
it.
can do
I
whatever,
really don't
but-
get it.
Yeah.
But, okay, that's
Man
depressing.
from Uncle. Man from
Oh,
Uncle.
That's a fun movie.
What is it called?
Man from
Man
Uncle.
from Uncle.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a fun.
Yeah.
I wish I'd seen that on the big screen. Dang it.
Yeah, that one was fun. I
Like
did see
the
that in the
Cold War
theater.
vibe.
Did anyone see In the Heart of the Sea? The Chris Hemsworth on a boat.
Is
It's kind of like a Moby.
Is that the Moby Dick one?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw it in
I
passing.
liked it.
Like it
I
was
liked it.
playing, but I didn't. I knew that that's what it was about. It's supposed to be about the origins of what inspired the story Moby Dick.
Right. Yeah. I like movies that are on boats and it feels like you're on the ocean and it's like a well-made kind of old school movie because that I don't know, to me the ocean is scary. Like that's enough of a setting on itself to be tense and scary. Just
yeah.
like, and I think it was just well done, like well acted and directed. I like
It'd be a pretty crappy movie if the boat was on land.
the third Pirates movie, didn't they do that? The third or the fourth one?
Oh, yeah.
They had that land boat. That was all right.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, they did do that. I was actually going to say that everything you mentioned about the being on the water and kind of the fear and the tension and all that. That's why I'm actually excited to see the last voyage of the Demeter. I think that's in August.
Oh, yeah.
Really
I'm looking
excited for
forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Because that's just a side of the whole Dracula story we don't
Right.
really see too much. We just know about it. So,
Yeah.
well, we know everybody's gonna.
Right.
but,
Wait, is that like a real part of the story? He was on a boat or something?
Oh, yes,
it's-
a chapter.
Yeah.
Really?
In the Dracula story,
Oh,
that's
cool.
how he traveled from. Was it Transylvania
Oh,
to?
yeah, I guess you're right. Most
England
people
or
don't know.
something.
Wow.
Mhm.
Cool. All right.
I think the boat arrived and everybody was dead, or there was nobody on it, or something like that. Right? What wasn't that? I can't.
Yeah, it
remember.
was one of those two. I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, the real life story about the boat they found that was empty in the ocean?
No.
That's the Mary
Dracula.
Celeste.
That's the Mary Celeste. Okay,
Yeah.
you're talking about part of the Dracula.
Yeah,
story.
Dracula. It's from the Dracula
Okay.
novel.
Has anybody seen Maze Runner?
Yes.
Yes, I saw. That's the first one. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that. I liked the first one. I never saw the others.
Yeah,
Oh.
I really enjoyed it because I think I know I've said this before, but I can always tell when Hollywood is moving in trends, just like they're doing this is how this business and this product came to be all these years ago. So that's their thing now. And back then, it was like, hey, young adult dystopian novel adaptations. And so we had
Right.
Hunger Games,
Yeah.
we had
Divergent.
Divergent, and then this. And so it's not like I was against seeing any of them. I just never got around to seeing it. And so when Maze Runner with the trailer, I was like, it just looked very, very intriguing, like with this maze and these people, like it just looked, yeah, I just was curious. And then I wanted to know like what's in the maze, and it was shrouded in all the secrecy. So I actually ended up really, really enjoying it. And one of my favorite scenes from that is when they basically there's a point in the middle where like they discover something, some kind of opening, and then they realize that everything is starting to close down and shut up, and then like it's almost like the maze is coming alive and they have to get out before they get like trapped, killed, or whatever. It was just very thrilling. So yeah, and so I think it was really solid. That was probably my favorite out of all of those kind of films that came out around that time, and it was just just a different focus from the other ones.
Did you read the books?
No, and see, I'm not old, but I'm older. So, so when I was growing up, it was like a series of unfortunate events and Harry Potter and, Artemis Fowl. Like there are certain ones that were out then. And so as I've gotten older, not that I'm against young adult novels, it's just that that's not my go-to anymore. So a lot of this I didn't know about. Same thing with Hunger Games. I didn't know about the series until the movies came out. And they were like, oh, this is based on a pre-existing book. So I've heard great things about the book though.
Oh, I never got around to reading. I read or / listened to the Divergent books and the Hunger Games, but I have not got around to Maze Runner. I heard it's good.
Did you like those books?
The Divergent and Hunger Games, yes.
Yeah.
I liked both of those.
Okay.
So maybe I'll eventually check out Maze Runner. Too.
Same.
So another movie I want to bring up, because I think this would be on my list, Sicario.
Yeah,
Sicario.
I like Sicario, and that's another movie I want to watch on the site that I was last, the streaming site I lost, because I was in the mood. I've been rewatching some Denis Villeneuve films.
Denis Villeneuve, is that right?
And I was
Did we
yeah,
say
and
it?
I was
Denis
wondering
Villeneuve?
Close enough, yeah.
Okay.
Sicario. I remember liking it, and I want to watch it again. It's been a long enough time.
It's
I've
good.
forgotten a lot about
It's
it.
really good.
I didn't
Arturelia
realize
watched
Emily
it.
Blunt was in there.
Yeah, when Emily
like
Blunt
Emily
showed
Blunt.
up, he was happy camper.
She's
Oh
cool.
yeah, Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
I liked it right until the end, until that scene with Benicio del Toro.
Oh, don't
And-
say
And then it
anyway.
just felt like a bit of a
Wait, I'm
cartoon.
going to take a break now, so you guys can talk about
Oh
it.
no, he's not. He's not going to get. Oh, you just
No,
want
you
to go
can't.
make
I
some
want to take a
coffee.
break anyway, so
Okay.
this is a good time.
You talking about when he basically forced her to sign that paper? Is that what you're
No,
talking about?
when he
Oh.
met the guy and his family.
Oh, that scene.
Oh.
I actually like that scene.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just it got really dark, but you know that's.
It did.
Eh,
And it just felt unrealistic to me. The whole talking about it stuff.
You mean the talking before the actual
Yeah.
event happened? Oh,
Yeah.
to me that really amped up the tension. Because I was
It
just
did,
wondering,
but, you know-
what is he gonna do?
Yeah. No, again, it works as a movie, but it just struck me as extremely unrealistic.
Okay.
In a movie that was really realistic, then I can forgive that in like superhero movies or whatever, but in that movie, it just really stood out.
Okay. That was-
the guy
that was
from
a-
Get Out is also in here.
Oh yeah, I had totally forgotten he was in there.
Sin, I don't know if you said it already when my internet was having issues, but I just realized your barometer for gore, the ultimate gore, that came out this year as
Yes,
well.
yes, it's on my list here to talk about.
Yep.
Yes, Bone Tomahawk. Arturo never got around to watching it. I don't know if I think we've scared him off of it. Well, I say we, because there's been at least someone else that's talked about it with me. But who?
Yeah, you do
Yeah,
a good
Tim.
job. Yeah, you
I
do
did
a
it.
good job. You've gone into specific detail, like even I just like even if I was somewhat intrigued, it's just like the way you talk about it. I'm just like,
I tell you, it was Tim. I had forgotten. Like Arturo said, my brother was here. One of my brothers was in town recently, and we were talking about that movie with him because Arturo and I were watching 2015 movies, and I brought it up, and Tim had seen it, my brother, and he just like me, he reacted very similarly. Like it affected him quite a bit, and he was just remarking on how he's seen so much gore and so much stuff in movies, but like that particular scene, it really like it hit him, bothered him a lot
ooh.
because it felt so realistic and it was just so matter of fact the way that it's just I can't now watch. You may end up watching it and being like, oh no, it's not. But I'll tell you, I want to rewatch the movie, but I would like to skip past that part. Because the movie itself is a good movie, but that scene, holy cow, that was
Right.
just like terrible. Have you seen it, Simon?
I have, yeah, and I didn't have the same reaction.
Oh
I
my
just
God.
maybe it was because people hyped it up. I was expecting something like crazy,
that's what,
but
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like maybe D, if you watch it, I put so much fear in you about it. Maybe if you watch it, it
Right.
won't be a big deal. But
Yeah.
I just remember how it made my stomach feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, and that's how this is not the same thing. There's a film called The Nightingale, and I just
I've heard
know
of that, yeah.
I know I can't do it because it's just like there are certain things I know are going to be imprinted on my memory. I remember things from when I was like 2, 3, 4, 5. Like there are a lot of things. Like I'm a very like I don't know. I just retain a lot of images and memories and things like that. Movies, all kinds of stuff. So it's just like once it's there. It's not going to go away. And on a random day when I'm just enjoying my time, it's going to be like, hey, remember that traumatizing image from that? That's the struggle I have sometimes. So we'll see. Maybe
Well,
one day.
It was traumatizing. I had no warning, Simon, when I saw it. I had no clue. I had
Oh,
heard
so you didn't know
about this.
anything.
No, I just the premise of the story was interesting, and
Oh.
it was actually really, really good. And then this scene happens, and I'm like, oh my God, this is awful. This is actually making me feel sick to my stomach. This is chilling. This is terrible. And that's like the one
I
thing
think I
I
came
had
in
never
after
forgotten.
you've just seen that scene.
Did I say something
I
to you about
remember
it?
I came in.
I was
I
probably so
thought you did. I
traumatized.
thought-
Yeah, it was.
Did you consider stopping, or did you
consider what?
did you consider stopping at that while that was happening, or did you just like
No,
I'll
I
get through it
actually I carried on through because I wanted to see what was going to happen with the main
Oh.
characters, because this
Okay.
character that this was happening to was not anybody. I don't think
Oh.
it was anybody you'd been introduced to. It was just one of the
Okay.
captives there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that really imprinted itself on my brain.
Did it at least make you anxious as to whether you get even more of that kind of stuff going forward?
I
at that
was,
point?
I was, I wasn't sure what it was going to show, because when it showed that, I was like, okay, well, there's no telling what
Yeah.
they're going to show us after
Yeah.
all this. And it wasn't, there was nothing, to me, this, whatever came after was nowhere near
Right.
the horribleness of what happened in that scene. Oh, we talked about it
disagree.
with that, oh my gosh, Simon. It was so bad.
See, when I was like 12 or 13, my thing was to rent out horror movies every week with my pocket money. So I've like completely desensitized to gore. The thing I find most disturbing about that movie was the wives,
The
because that's more of a
wives,
that's more of like a psychological horror.
like them
putting
being
yourself in it.
stolen. You talking about?
I don't want to spoil it, but
Okay.
them being captive and
He's probably referring to the same thing, the same reason I don't want to watch The Nightingale. I'm guessing.
I don't remember. So I've only seen this movie once. I just remember people were being stolen, and they went out to go save someone that had been stolen.
it was the antagonists' wives, the women of the antagonists,
Oh
if you remember that.
no, I don't. I really
Okay.
don't. Like, I blocked out so much of it.
Because of that one.
I remember
scene.
Kurt Russell. I remember people were stolen. I remember there's a posse goes out to try to rescue them. The last time we had a stream was end of May, so we did talk about that actor that we met when he came to our con. He had been in Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah.
We went to his panel and we talked about it with him. I asked him if he had seen that movie in total, all the way through, because some actors don't.
Yeah, he did.
And he said that he felt like he said that he brought up the Terrifier movie, and he said that there's a scene where they do something very similar to a character in Terrifier, and he felt like that was probably inspired by what was shown in Bone Tomahawk.
Right.
Who was the actor?
Oh, what was his name? Arturo, big
I
tall
don't
guy.
remember.
Oh
He's a
shoot,
big tall guy.
he's not like a big huge name actor. Oh my gosh, hold on, I'll
Was
find
this Sid
it for
Haig's
you.
last movie as well?
Who's Sid Haig?
Sid Haig. Yeah.
Was he in Bone Tomahawk?
Yeah, he was at the very start.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't remember what year he died.
Let's see.
I'm gonna look this actor's name up. That's bugging me now. His panel was really interesting. He was really cool, but I just can't remember his name. Hold on. His name is. Hold on, I'm scrolling through everybody. Okay, Robert Mukes was his name. Mukes.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's like more of a. He plays in a lot of probably maybe direct-to-video, low-budget horror right now. But he was in Westworld. He had a scene where he had to fight Ed Harris. I don't remember what season I don't even know if he said what season he was in. So he's been in some stuff, but like you probably don't recognize him
seems
or remember
like the
him because
type
maybe
that
he's like a
would be.
background type of character.
He seems like an actor that would be kind of up there.
He fought Ed Harris in Westworld. Now I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
like, is he the guy that looks like he's from GTA 5? If anyone knows what I'm talking about, where he's like bald and looks kind of like.
Well, this
Like
guy's not bald, but I don't remember what he
He
looks like
has a mustache.
in Westworld.
He has a mustache and kind of like a hostile, kind of aggressive attitude. And at least
Is he?
He looks like a wrestler.
Yeah, he kind
He's
of
a
does look
big
like
guy.
a
He
wrestler.
looks like
He's
he could play
really,
like a
really
hard
tall.
guy.
Yeah, he's really tall.
Robert Lutz.
In the private
Robert
chat.
Mukes, Mukes.
Okay.
The link is in the private chat, Colin.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
So I had forgotten he was in Bone Tomahawk, but I wanted to ask him that
I
question.
know that actor.
You recognize him?
Yeah, I don't know from where, but I know I've seen him.
Yeah, he's
somewhere.
kind of like one of those folks that's just been in a lot of different things, and you just don't necessarily notice him.
Oh, I think you should leave with Tim Robinson. That's why I know him.
Okay.
It's a comedy show I watch all the time. He's in one of the skits, so I've seen him a bunch.
He's in a show. Looks like maybe it's a movie or a show. No, CBS Los Angeles, 2017. Yeah, Bone Tomahawk. Oh, okay.
What?
He was like one of those Native Americans, I think.
He was?
It looks like it.
Really?
Yeah, I see a picture of
I
him.
thought okay. I don't remember what part he played, but okay.
He's kind of funny.
He is funny. He's actually a really funny guy.
He was dressed
Yeah.
up like in Rick Grimes' uniform.
He was. He was dressed up in a sheriff's outfit, and it was all ripped and bloody. He comes to the panel like that.
I have one. Has anyone seen The Gift, directed by Joel Edgerton with Jason Bateman and
Yes.
Rebecca Hall?
Yes.
Yeah. So going off the trail, there's something about the potential crazy stalker, local, obsessed person. Those films are always interesting to me, even though I know some of them are some of them can be very, very derivative, but they're still fun. Going into this one, in the trailer, I kind of figured, okay, this is more of the same, whatever, for the most, but I still want to check it out. That film did not go the way I expected it to, and it really subverted my expectations. Like you couldn't have told me that going into it, what was going to happen. The antagonist, who the real antagonist was, things that happened. That was wild, and I just think just for that experience alone, that was a really, really enjoyable one.
It was. Yeah, I watched it. It was one of the things I sort of watched in passing, but I paid enough attention that I noticed what was going on, and then what happened at the end. I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we never got around to watching that. I did have it on my list, actually, of movies to talk about or to possibly watch with Arturo, but we just didn't get around to it.
I'm fine putting that on the ever-growing list of ours as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The ever-growing list. Oh, my goodness.
I was going to bring up another movie that I just saw this year, A Bridge of Spies.
Oh, yeah.
Recently saw that.
Tom Hanks.
Did you just mention that on the stream?
Bridge of Spies?
Uh-huh. Maybe it was somebody else. It might not have been you.
No, we haven't.
Not this one. I just thought.
On another one?
Yeah, I thought I heard you say it on another stream, but I can't remember when it was though.
Gosh, I don't remember. It might have. I wonder if it was in our last stream when we were talking about movies for 2015. I think Arturo had brought it up at some point.
Because I like the Cold War stuff. And then there's Goosebumps that also came out this year.
Oh, the Jack Black, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was
fine. I didn't think
fine.
it was all that great.
Yeah, see, I still have fond memories of the books and then the original, the '90s series. So I'm not gonna lie, I was a little kind of biased going into it. I was like,
were you? But you liked it? Oh, Levi, make up your mind.
No. I'm saying that's why I didn't watch it.
Oh, you did. Oh, I see. It was.
Yeah, it didn't look bad. It's just that what I liked about the books, and even though I know people think of it just more so of a kid series, but some of those, a lot of those books, a good amount of those books, and even the series with the '90s, even with the '90s cheese of it all, some of those took quite the dark turns. So it's just to me, I would have liked something more like serious, kind of dark horror. And so once I realized it was more family friendly, like, oh, we have to, I was like, oh, okay.
It was not. I was hoping for something darker for sure and scarier, and it really wasn't.
Yeah.
Very much, unfortunately.
Creed came out this year, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it did.
Not mine. That's chibi. That's sin stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't exactly sure what that what that
The dog
question
you
was
call
about.
him?
Yeah, this dog up here
It's
in
the
the
alien dog.
in the upper right hand corner is Chibi, our little crazy one of our
Chibi.
crazy little
Call it
chihuahuas.
Chibi.
Chibi.
Victor Frankenstein.
Say what?
Victor Frankenstein.
Oh, is that the one with
It's got
Is Aaron Eckhart in that? Am I messing?
That's who I was thinking. Is that
Okay.
the one, Arturo? Does it say Aaron Eckhart or Eckhart? Who's in it?
Looks like the guy from Harry Potter. Oh yeah, the guy from Harry Potter, Daniel. Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, okay, I see now.
McAvoy.
Oh, okay. I don't think I saw that all the way.
Oh, Andrew Scott's in here.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I don't think it was well received.
I remember it looked a little odd from the trailer, but
Yeah. I've got one to throw out there. It Follows. Have you guys seen that?
oh my gosh, I hear about it all the time, but I still need to watch it.
Oh, it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I saw bits of it. I never watched it.
Like that was one that like sometimes I get too excited because I had read some review like this is the best movie ever, and I remember watching it and being like, this is cool. It's not the best movie ever, like but it's still it's better than average though. It was original and creative, and I feel like it definitely had scary moments.
Yeah,
Like
it's creepy.
yeah, so it was an above average scary film, I think for sure. Did you watch It Follows, Simon? The horror film?
I did. It sucked.
You thought it sucked? I think it sucked. That was alright.
Okay, we're just gonna not be on the same wavelength this stream, I don't think. Well, we were kind of when it came to Fury Road, but all right.
I was gonna
I
say
thought it was pretty good.
send the
Yeah.
film. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, good. I was just saying I thought it was pretty good. I liked it.
No,
I
the
liked
film. I knew Aaron Eckhart was in some kind of film that looked really weird and goofy and over the top. But it's funny. But it's the same. It's the same concept, the same name. He was in I, Frankenstein.
Yes, I knew it was in a
yeah.
Frankenstein movie. I just didn't know
Right.
if it was that one that Arturo mentioned. Okay, they've made so many. There was one that Robert De Niro was in too.
Oh, is that the one from the 90s?
I think, and Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah,
was she
Bonham
in that
Carter.
as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and
Is it-
Kenneth Branagh.
Oh
Did
yeah, that's
anyone
right.
here,
That's
or
right.
if you saw it, what did you think about Hateful Eight, Tarantino movie?
I liked it.
Oh yeah.
As did
It was
I.
an experience. Ooh. It's one of the few films that was kind of like I know they talk about 40X, but this was just a regular theater, and for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't even know if it was just that particular theater, even though it wouldn't surprise me if it was. But I don't know if something in the AC was broken or I don't know what went awry, but my bones were rattling. That's how cold it was in the theater.
Oh,
So
jeez.
it was very I felt very immersed in the experience of watching these people in the freezing
Oh,
mountains.
that's right, because it took place in a
Yes.
really cold environment,
So I mean,
like Everest.
like yeah. So it was like it was extremely uncomfortable, but it was something oddly
Fitting.
kind of like kind of immersive about it because it was just like
Yeah.
geez, everyone's just trying to stay warm and deal with this situation. But yeah, but it was interesting. Like I like I know for some people, kind of the one setting and a bunch of dialogue and all that kind of stuff. Some people aren't into that, but I've grown to really appreciate it. And I think that was a film that was really important as far as my growing appreciation of that. And that final blowout, knockdown, drag out, blood fest, like, whew, yeah, that was an experience for sure. And even the revelation with Samuel L. Jackson's character, they definitely went places I wasn't expecting at all.
Yeah, it was a fun film. I've only seen it once, so I've forgotten a lot of the details. It's something I wouldn't mind watching again, but do you guys know that little trivia about the guitar that got busted?
I do, yeah. I was just about to say that.
Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh.
terrible.
So terrible.
It was a vintage guitar
Yeah.
that was on loan from some museum. And Kurt Russell didn't realize he wasn't meant to destroy it. And that's exactly what he did.
Nice.
Yeah, and so was it Jennifer? What was it? Was it Jennifer Jason Leigh?
Jason Lee.
So her reaction of startlement and just complete shock and horror was genuine because she knew it
man.
was she knew it was.
That
She
makes
knew
me
what it
wanna
was,
watch
but
that
he
scene.
didn't.
Yeah, Hateful Eight
Yeah.
I liked Hateful Eight. It was good.
That's awesome.
It was funny too, especially like
It's
at
all,
point-
Tarantino always has these crazy comedic
like
moments.
there's a point where sometimes when Samuel Jackson's talking in some of the scenes, like it's slow motion, like his voice is slow motion. Like,
I had forgotten about that.
And unfortunately, we are not all on the same wavelength. It's the one Tarantino movie that I'm not like a big fan of,
Oh, really?
and I don't know why. Because it's a little too wordy. Like it feels like almost like a play that was
Because
brought.
well, yeah,
That's
like he
exactly
was
what
saying.
Tarantino's known for.
Yeah.
Wait, I know.
It's just Reservoir Dogs with a budget.
I know, but it doesn't have enough of like
It's a Wild West.
like cinematic flair for me. Like his movies are known for.
It was shot in fucking 70mm.
I know, but it didn't have the style. It was very like grounded of all his movies, and it just I don't know. It didn't do it for me. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's Tarantino. It's an above average film.
Not your favorite.
I watched it twice to make sure, and I'm still now they have an extended version on Netflix. And I'm still like I should probably watch that because like I feel like I'm wrong, but it's the only Tarantino movie that I don't like automatically love. And I put his I think he's my favorite of any filmmaker's filmography. If I had to pick one to like live with for the rest of my life, it'd probably be Tarantino. For me this is maybe like the least essential of his movies, which is just weird. Like cuz I was so excited for it. I thought it would be like a better Reservoir Dogs. And I don't know why. I don't know.
Just didn't click.
It doesn't do it for me.
I was gonna say for Sashi, yes, I do recall that, and I recall it because that film got dragged to the ends of the earth, especially after the casting and all the nonsense that went on with that, and just and then it also ended up just being a horrible, modernized, it was bad.
I refused to watch it. They should have just done a cartoon movie.
Why not? Like
Exactly.
it made no sense.
Wait, what movie?
I wanna tell
Jim
you
and
guys
the
about
Holograms. It was a live action movie about this. It was a cartoon from the 80s. I used to love that cartoon.
Yeah.
I used to love the intro and the songs.
And then did you hear the controversy about Shayna at the time? Yeah, because it's like that Shayna. I'm assuming that's correct. But Shayna's the one with the purple, kinky hair, and then brown skin. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
No, let me look her up. From the cartoon, Shayna?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
was she one of the Misfits, or was she one of Jim's group? I can't remember.
Ooh, I see. It's been a minute. So.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. I want to say she was part of the main group.
She was the bass guitarist. She had
guitarist.
Hair.
Yeah. Who they picked for that role? Mm-hmm.
Who did they pick? I never even paid attention to the casting because
Aurora Perrineau. Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Wait, no, that's the same last name as the dude from Lost.
Yeah, his daughter.
His daughter?
Oh.
Okay, cool.
But if you see what his daughter looks like,
doesn't look like
nothing. It's about as far away from that character as you can get. So yeah, so that kind of preceded a lot of the conversation about it, and then everything else that they did with the film, everyone was like, "Okay, throw it away, please."
Yeah, I heard it was bad. Well, I wasn't interested when I found out it was okay. So I found out it was live action. I'm like, oh, okay. But then I saw pictures of it, or maybe like the trailer as well, and that was enough to turn me off. It just looked terrible. Yeah, I love that because I love that cartoon intro. It was so good. Okay.
I want to tell you guys about a fun time I had for 2015 movies.
Okay.
Which was, and this is, I was going to like sidebar. Remember when movies, it took a while for them to get to video or now it was streaming or whatever.
I do remember.
And it felt like there was more of a need to see them in theaters. And now it's like movies are streaming by the time they're like, they're at the end of they're still in theaters practically.
Right.
And so it never feels like, oh, if I don't see it now, I got to wait till next year.
Right.
Like, it's just like, I can just wait for streaming. So I feel like there was more, even in 2015, I was excited because like it was I got to watch The Revenant and The Hateful Eight at home because they came out in December and they send out screeners, like DVD quality screeners, to all the Hollywood people, and then they put those up on those sites, like Simon gave me. So basically, as soon as they hit theaters, the DVD quality, I think before they hit theaters even, the DVD quality versions were on those sites, and I realized that, and I was excited. I like to watch it at home, and I can just smoke weed and be positive, like in my own. So I got to have a double feature of like 2 movies I wanted to see the most that year: Revenant and Hateful Eight, like back to back in my room. Smoked a lot of pot, and it was really fun. That was So that was when it was still cool to see him like early and see him at home like a year before they were young. Anyways, that was my fun time, and I thought Hateful Eight was gonna be the one I loved, and it ended up being The Revenant, which I didn't love, but I liked more than The Hateful Eight. Did you guys?
We never got around to watching The Revenant.
I think you should. I think it's worth watching. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
It won Best Directing and Best
Yeah,
Acting.
I know. I remember.
Yeah, what did you, D or Simon? You guys see The Revenant?
Yeah, I was gonna say I got to see it, watch it because I didn't get to see it in the theaters, unfortunately. But me and a good, I want to say it was like maybe 7 of us, crowded around the living room. My friend had just gotten this big screen, had just bought it, Revenant in 4K and everything.
Nice.
So we just kind of went in like, okay, well, we'll see. Man, it was like one of those experiences. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but when certain things happen, we were like hollering and screaming and just like, no, what? Like it was a very it was a very entertaining, very bonding experience watching that one.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's got some epic moments in that movie.
For me, it was another one of those movies that was overhyped. So
really,
I ended up not really enjoying it because people liked it so much, and by the time I got around to watching it, it was just not as good as they said.
Sometimes that can happen.
Was that another one? See, that's another movie where I like Tom Hardy in that, but you probably were like, Tom Hardy made it worse. But I liked it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I thought it made it better. But I think it's another like it's roles like that. There's been a number of Tom Hardy roles where, and I don't know if I'm a great critique of acting. I just like seeing him in movies. You know what I mean? I don't think I am a very good. Maybe he's not a good actor, but I feel like for me, he can do a range of characters that are really cool.
I put the links in the private chat for you, Colin, by the way. For
Which
those,
did you see my
places.
thing, Sin?
Your thing?
Uh-huh.
Is there something in the private
Yeah,
chat?
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just noticed. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, D. No, I had missed it.
No,
Okay.
you're good. So, but I have mine to throw out before I go.
Yeah, tell us.
Oh yeah, top films.
Yeah, and I had way more than I thought. So this isn't my usual top 5, but and this is in no particular order. But The Gift, Carol with Kate Blanchett and Rooney Mara. I actually ended up really enjoying that. Creed, Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, Mad Max Fury Road, Sin's favorite. Ex Machina and The Revenant.
Oh wow, you do have a big list.
Yeah, and there's probably a few more I can add, but
so
I
this
really
was a good year for you then.
What was the last one you said?
Better than I thought. Oh, The Revenant.
The Revenant, nice. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, more than I thought, because I think as we go along, some years are better than others, and I think when I was starting to scroll and looking through, I thought like, there were some rough ones, but then I forgot, some slipped through the cracks. And I'm really excited about the next Mission Impossible also. So I'm actually going to go back and rewatch this. My mom actually just said she wants to. I don't know how I keep getting these good Blu-ray deals, but they had a 6-movie Mission Impossible collection for like $10 that I got.
Yeah, I think I picked up maybe a similar bundle, and it also included the digital codes, so that was exciting. So I wouldn't mind rewatching some of them for sure.
Yeah, so she wants to watch, and then we're gonna watch leading up to the new movie. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's when is it?
Next Friday, a week from Friday,
July 12th, I believe.
Yeah, it's like
2 weeks.
It's
2 weeks
mid-July. Okay, yeah.
Is anybody going to see Oppenheimer?
I'm not.
I want to. I don't know if I will on the big screen, but I will eventually see it. I mean, it does fit. I feel like it might be worth it on the big screen for maybe like 5 or 10 minutes worth of like bomb type footage.
It's got a lot of,
You strike me more as a Barbie kind of guy.
Oh, I probably am. I'd rather see Barbie on opening day.
I knew it.
Yeah, genuinely, I think, yeah.
All right.
I would
Well,
say,
see y'all later.
thank you for
See you,
joining.
D.
See you, D.
All right. No
Bye.
problem. Bye.
Oh, D. Oh, he's gone. Shoot.
I am your phone.
Okay, whatever. We'll be in contact. We stay in contact on Twitter.
That's what we're gonna do. Our top.
Well, was there any more you guys
There are a
wanted to
few more.
mention?
I'm debating on
Let me
like
just check my list.
two of these.
'Cause, you know, I have a long list of movies that I wrote down as potentials to talk about or to watch, and
I think we hit most of them.
Did we talk about Ex Machina?
well, D
when
brought it up. He
I
mentioned.
thought we had talked about that. Maybe that's a movie that got put on 2 years. Because I thought we talked about it last year. Because if not, that's definitely a movie that I feel like I've talked about it before.
I've got
I
it
really
written down for 2015, so it might be one of those weird movies that came out different years in different countries.
I really like Ex Machina. I think I've said it before, but like I really like Oscar. I think that's the movie that put me over the top for Oscar Isaac because I liked how he was kind of likable, but also kind of creepy at the same time. Like I couldn't tell if I liked him or like I didn't trust him, but I wanted to, and just that I just liked the atmosphere and tone. It felt believable to me, and yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I think overall it was really good. I think Alex Garland, he's won me over like that movie and other stuff. I really like Alex Garland.
Well, that was the first time I noticed Oscar Isaac as an actor, and also the chick. That was the first time I noticed her. And then saw her later in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
What's her name? I forget.
Oh gosh, what is her name?
Alicia Vikander.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
She also played the latest Lara Croft iteration. Yeah.
Oh, that was her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Ex Machina too, Simon?
I do, yeah.
I liked it up until the end. Then I was pissed at the way it ended. I hated the way it ended.
Why didn't you like the ending?
I just
I
didn't
thought
like. I didn't like what she did to the guy.
I thought it was very fitting.
I hated it.
Loved it.
I thought it was terrible. It made me go from sympathizing with her to wanting her to be fried.
I mean,
Wanting
that's
her
exactly
circus to be
the point.
fried.
Isn't that the point?
That's exactly the point, though, Sin. You didn't think that? Like,
And you're calling it she.
But yeah, I know that's right. Well, because she's in the shape of a she.
but that's the whole point. Is
But
like
I hated this. Like I'm the type of person that I don't usually like bad endings for the protagonist of a story.
right.
And that was what we got. And
But
it
that
was
is
annoying.
reality most of the time.
I know that's true, but because reality sucks most of the time, I want my entertainment to be a little bit happier. That doesn't always happen.
I felt like it was a fitting bad ending though, because it was one of those things like it was a huge risk. Like, don't trust the robot will.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
all manipulation. It was all it was survival at its core. That robot wanted freedom, and it did everything in its power to manipulate its way
It
to get there.
have you guys
And
seen
it tricked
Upgrade?
us, the audience, even like. 'Cause,
Yeah,
we-
it's true. Have you
know.
seen Upgrade? That's
Mhm.
very
Upgrade?
similar.
No,
Oh,
no.
Oh,
you
you like that? Yeah.
it's
I
a
would
very
like
similar
Upgrade.
type of. Upgrade is
I'm gonna check it out.
I think Upgrade was more entertaining as far as I enjoyed Ex Machina, and then like I said, up until the end. But as far as like rewatchability, I liked Upgrade, but it's got a very similar type of thing happening.
And I really like the ending of Ex Machina because like I know ultimately it's like fantasy story that I'm not really scared about, but I do like the idea that it's kind of believable to me in a way that if they did make very human-like robots, there's a good chance one would somehow get out into society before we even knew they were making them. You know, like they would keep it real, low-key, and yet something might still go wrong. And then they're like, oh shit, don't tell anyone. Like, or it might even happen before they really, I know it's not, it's somehow believable to me on I don't really think it would happen. But just the idea that there's all these crazy tech billionaires and all this crazy tech happening so fast that the idea that people are like kind of being secretive with some shit and that an accident will eventually happen or unforeseen shit. So
The thing is, if you don't have that ending, then you don't get Terminator, because she is Arnold's grandmother.
right.
Kind of in a way. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was annoying. She was. I don't know.
Are you gonna watch Men, Simon?
Like generally, no.
Eventually,
Eventually, yeah.
I think
I've
it's
been
worth
really
a
bad at watching stuff lately.
I think it's worth a watch.
Although I did watch The Machine.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. I'm waiting.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. What did you think about The Machine?
It was all right. It was no more or less than what I expected.
Okay, yeah.
But
okay.
that guy who played Young Bert, I couldn't stand his voice.
Oh, that's where I saw he played in the movie
Yeah,
I saw last night. He played in Theater Camp. I was like,
Jimmy
where have I
Tatro.
seen this guy before? Where have I seen him? He was Young Bert.
Yeah.
Yep. He does have
It's
an
like
unusual voice.
he has a really, really deep voice, except it sounds like he has like
His
marbles in his
tongue-
mouth or something.
He sounds like he's
Yeah.
got his tongue is too big for his mouth.
Raw.
Yeah, exactly. So I figured that The Machine would be exactly what it ended up being, but I didn't expect that I would like it as much as I did, which
Yeah.
is I enjoyed it a lot. It was fun,
I
definitely
still
fun.
have yet to see that.
You would like it, Arturo. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do our
Couple more movies I think we haven't touched
Yeah,
on.
sure.
Trainwreck. I actually really enjoyed it.
Oh, Amy Schumer.
Mm-hmm.
She was enough to turn me off of even watching it.
It was mostly John Cena.
John
that
Cena
movie.
was in it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
But there's a scene where he's in the theater and there's somebody talking or whatever. But he's like, "I will fucking eat your ass," and shit like that. And he's like, "You're really bad at insults. Your insults are so fucking gay." And yeah, and the joke is, throughout the movie is just these gays. So, but yeah.
Okay.
Another is Krampus.
Oh yes, Krampus. I have that written down here.
I never saw that.
That was one of the first movies I did a live stream discussion with Sound Booth Theater about last Christmas, and I don't remember if I talked about it with you, Simon, specifically, but I do remember mentioning it on the live stream that the ending is not exactly what you think. Had we talked about that before?
I don't think so.
That the ending is not. That the ending, it's actually a happy ending. It's just
It is?
an ending of warning. Yeah. Arturo hasn't seen it, so I'm trying. It's not what you think. I'll try to remember to link a video to you where it's explained that what this actually means is something. And there's also reference to like I think it was a comic as well, or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so when I first watched it, I came away with it like, oh gosh, that's terrible. But then when you read this other stuff that explains,
Did Arturo just shoot himself?
There's like a video that explains what the ending really means, and it's definitely not
Okay.
what you think, and that
All
surprised me. So now when I rewatched it in preparation for the discussion last year I had on Sound Booth Theater, it made me happier.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. He has like this wooden like a desk that he'll put on top of his chair, but when he moves it or sets it down, a lot of times it will fall or hit the ground really hard. So I'm thinking he maybe bumped into it, but I don't know what he's doing.
No, I just set it down.
You set it down, so that's what it was.
There was a movie that
So-
was sorry, go ahead, Simon.
No, go ahead.
Just it was a disappointment for me. It's like so many movies have disappointed me that I don't get as excited as I used to. Because this I still did, but the Wachowskis made Jupiter Ascending, which I was
Oh.
really excited. Like, this is going to be a return to form for the guys who made The Matrix. You know, like I've been waiting for them to do something as good as The Matrix all this
For
time.
the girls who made the
Was
Matrix.
this Channing Tatum?
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't even
Cancelled.
But I only really think of them in terms of the people who made The Matrix, which were guys at the time. That's all I ever really think of the Wachowskis as, The Matrix people. But anyways, it's like I was so excited for Jupiter Ascending, and I was just thinking this is going to be like an action. I think it might have been in 3D. Like,
Was this Channing Tatum?
Channing Tatum
Okay.
And Mila Kunis.
yeah, Mila Kunis.
Right.
And I
never
saw it
seen
in
much.
theaters, and I was just like it just felt like some sci-fi movie. Like it wasn't really that great. Like the action wasn't that great. It had some cool stuff, but it was just kind of fast paced, and the story was just kind of over the top. And I just felt like, oh my god, like I felt like we're never gonna get another good. Like they're never gonna make the top or even equal the Matrix. And when they came with the new Matrix, that was really like, it wasn't bad, but it just was kind of like, I think they were one hit wonder. I think the Matrix.
Yeah, it was lightning in a bottle was
Yeah.
Matrix. They couldn't recapture that for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think when they do multiple sequels or something, they cannot recapture any of what was well.
Most of the time they
about the
can't,
first
for sure.
Like you're saying, the
Just-
second
just
Sicario movie ain't that great.
Hey, I've heard
Okay.
this. I haven't seen the second one, but I've heard it's not very good.
Yeah, it doesn't compare to the first.
Really. Okay.
It's all right, but doesn't compare to the first.
Yeah.
not same director.
No.
Denis pretty. He adds a professionalism to the movies.
Yeah. Have you guys
But-
seen Crimson Peak?
I think I did.
Is that the
I think
Del
it's
Toro
Guillermo del Toro.
Del
Yeah,
Toro.
it's does have Tom
Very, like-
Hiddleston.
Tom
Tom
Hiddleston and Eva Green? Is it?
Okay, I
It
forgot
felt like-
some of the others.
I remember the imagery and the style and the tone more
It's
than I
like
do
a
the
gothic
story.
type of feel to it.
Yeah, I remember thinking it looked really cool, but like the story
Oh.
didn't stick with me. It felt like it was just some kind of generic ghost stuff, and I feel like by the end it had some CG or something that just made it kind of lose the tone that it had. Like what was working for it kind of got caught up in the CG ghost story by the end that didn't work. But I liked some of just the imagery and stuff. The style was cool.
Yeah.
Not one of his
Mhm.
better films. Not one of his better films. Yeah, I don't know
So-
if there's any other.
I'm going to bring up another movie. I should preface this. 2015 is around when I started growing my own. So I had a lot, and I was always fucking stoned.
Oh, nice.
Pitch Perfect 2. I don't remember a thing about it, but I
this is
love
the-
it.
I think you talked about how much
Yeah.
you love this. Did you cry or something? You said you cried.
That was the
Is
first one.
Oh, the first one. Okay.
Yeah, I watched it and cried at the end because it was just so beautiful. And then I immediately watched it again because I loved it so much, and then cried at the end again.
And the second one you loved.
I just
so much
like
as well.
you and Pitch Perfect. Just
That's funny.
they don't seem to mesh in my brain.
I know, but
2015, Simon was like, Star Wars and Pitch Perfect 2, you guys. It's like super high.
yeah.
That's awesome.
And I literally lived like at the end of my street was the cinema. It was like
Oh, sweet.
cool.
maybe 50 yards.
Nice.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
that's
fun.
cool though.
Hmm.
Man, I never saw either one. I kind of want to now. I don't know. I feel like it won't ever live up to what Simon saw.
No,
From his
it gets
perspective.
very, very high.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, so Paddington.
I don't get it.
Why do I keep hearing how great Paddington is? And Paddington 2 was supposed to be like the best movie ever. What is it about Paddington? Have you guys seen it?
I
at
think
all?
it's just the
I haven't
effect.
seen it.
It's the kid movie critic effect, which I mean I've noticed ever since basically Pixar back in like the Toy Story days almost, but really since Wall-E and shit, and critics would just give every Pixar movie like a 95 or higher on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was just almost like no one could think of anything bad to say about it more than say they weren't saying it's a great film, just no one could and part of that is because it's like it's this weird realm of like, well, it's a kid's movie, so how are you going to say it's bad for a kid? You're like, no, I think everyone's saying it's great for a kid's movie, but how are you going to say Paddington 2 is like a better movie than, I don't know.
I
any
haven't seen
number
it, so I
of-
have no idea. But there is something that happens in like it's either an episode or it's in a movie where it is referenced multiple times
Right.
as
Almost
being
like
like
it's
one of
a
the
meme.
best movies.
Almost like it's a meme because it scored like a perfect score on whatever Metacritic or
Oh,
Rotten
something
Tomatoes.
like that. Okay.
And of all the films to do it, it was the sequel to Paddington. Like that, it's almost just a joke, you know?
I feel that you can't just go with like the bandwagon always says, like, oh, it's so great. You have to kind of
Well, I was just
Look at
wondering
it
if there was
first before
something
you
I was
decide.
missing about it, because I was immediately not interested, because it's like I'm generally not drawn to kids movies, and that's what it looked
Well, yeah,
like. But
I'm-
apparently there's something in there that appeals to adults too. I have no
Well,
idea.
it's like
I think it's the
think
Ted Lasso
Toy-
effect because it's all about just kindness.
Toy Story 2 effect. What's the Ted Lasso effect?
Yeah, what is the Ted? I've never seen Ted
Well,
Lasso, so I don't
Ted
know.
Lasso is just about a guy who's kind, and that's
Okay,
basically. The star said he was surprised it was a hit because it was about two things the Americans hate: kindness and soccer. So I think.
Americans
yeah, I think
don't
it's.
hate kindness.
No, I
We're
call it
not
the
crazy
Toy
about
Story 2
soccer,
effect,
though.
which is
I
that
think we're talking about the coasts there, but
they always give critics are always giving these like family friendly Pixar type movies like a near perfect score, which is a weird thing when you're all like the other movies you're giving it to are like art house films and stuff. It's like how can you even compare? It's like apples and oranges. Like I don't know. It's obvious that Paddington 2 is not an art house film. It's like a Pixar movie. I'm assuming it's just a family-friendly movie that has stuff that works for adults too.
I don't know.
how rare that a sequel improves upon its original, and rare still that it is a perfect film. But Paddington 2 is both, encouraging gentleness, politeness, and decency.
Okay, so it's a film about kindness.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's a heartwarming type of. Maybe that's why adults like it too. I don't know. I mean, I've certainly seen kids' movies that I really enjoy, but it's not something that I generally would choose to watch. Maybe one day.
That's hyper is. A dash of Wes Anderson, a sprinkle of Jean-Pierre Jeunet, swirled around with a wonderfully fluid sense of airiness and light. It's mannered yet carefree, colorful, and evocative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did the same director make the second one as made the first one?
I have no idea. I'm like, check.
I mean, I get it. I get where it's just like pleasantness is pretty. Like you can't criticize pleasantness. Like
He
the
did, yeah.
reason I
He
like
did? Okay.
Pride and Prejudice is just like it's all happy. It's all good. There's no drama. It's just the drama is so low stakes that it's
The
not.
drama is like sort of romance type of
Yeah.
drama
It-
stuff. Yeah.
I get it. Like I like it too. There's
Some
nothing
people
wrong
like
with it.
those feel good movies.
Yeah, I'm more drawn to stuff with tension in it, which is
Me
like the
too.
opposite
Yeah.
of that kind of thing.
I like
It's like, yeah.
conflict.
Yeah, it's like so. Yeah, even that it's not for everyone. I can't criticize it, but I'm looking for the kind of the opposite of like a feel good film.
So, like, okay,
Apparently, the director did all 3 seasons of The Mighty Bush. If you've ever seen that.
Man, I think I've seen some of it. I don't remember though. I think I just know.
no worries, Shadow. I mean, we are in a very different time zone. I know it's really late where you are. Well, so I'll give you an example of something that's like a kid's movie, but also can appeal to adults. And I love this movie so much. It's in my top 10. It's The Black Stallion.
Oh, the old classic one.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
70s.
Yeah, we watched
I
that.
love
You're watching too
that
much
movie.
Fargo. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
have. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we have.
Yeah, Black Beauty. I like those old
Not Black
those old
Beauty.
kids'
Not Black
movies.
Beauty. Black Stallion.
Black Stallion. Sorry, yes.
I
remember.
used to
Isn't
read
that the one where
all
she's
those
on
books.
the boat at the opening of the movie? It's like a sinking boat that
Yes,
she's trying to get out of.
it's a boy, little boy,
Mhm.
and the stallion. They are the only survivors of this shipwreck.
Yes,
He's
yeah,
on the
yeah.
ship with his father, and
Yeah.
these Arab people have brought this black stallion in. You don't know until the second movie that they had actually stolen the stallion. Anyway, so the little boy and the stallion live on this island, or they survive on this island. The cinematography is gorgeous, and the music, and there's not a ton of dialogue in there. Then they get rescued, and then he meets this old horse trainer played by Mickey Rooney.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up putting the stallion in this race against these other 2 really, really like well-known horses, and I love that movie. It's beautiful, and it's sweet, and I've always loved it. And also the horse is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, Terry Gar got old.
Yeah,
What?
okay, so she has MS, I think.
Does she?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
That would explain it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the first movie I noticed her as an actor. But that was a long time ago. Like the first time I saw it was
Like from the
when we
80s.
used to rent it. We
Yeah.
rented it from the library on
Yeah.
these big reels we put on a projector and plastered
Yeah,
up
didn't
on
you
the
watch
wall.
like The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Kelly C. Rose, and a
Yes.
few other things
Yep.
on there?
Mm-hmm. And I used to be so obsessed with Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Secret of
Yeah.
Nim, and
Yes, Secret of
the
Nim.
love that movie. That's also in my top 10.
I kind of want to rewatch The Good, the Bad, the Ugly again.
That's a good
That's a
movie.
good movie.
I used to watch them backwards. The movie would
What?
play, and then I'd reverse it and watch it backwards because you could do that on a projector.
While it was rewinding, you were
So
watching.
it's like rewinding, but rewinding in real time. Like
Oh, whoa.
yeah, so
Play
I would
rewind?
watch it backwards. You'd
That's
flip
funny.
the switch and it would like reel backwards.
Yeah. Man.
Blondie.
Yeah, Blondie.
Blondie.
Have you guys heard of the movie Child 44? I thought that was based on a real story.
I don't
I
think,
think that
I've
also
heard of
has
it,
Tom
not seen
Hardy in it.
I think I've seen it. I can't remember it.
I think it's about this serial killer of children,
Yes.
like in
I have seen it.
Russia or something. And I want to. Oh, it's got Gary Coleman in
Oh,
it.
that's that.
I thought
Cold
it was a
War
true
one,
story, right? I mean,
In the Soviet Union, right?
yes.
Because I remember you and a friend at the time was watching. I remember.
Yeah,
the begin-
Janelle. Hmm.
Yeah, wasn't that like at the beginning was like Berlin, and then later back in Russia? And didn't Tom Hardy play like a Soviet officer?
He was a cop, and Numi Rapace, however
Rapace.
she Rapace. I thought she played his wife or love interest or something.
Okay, I would like to watch that movie. I remember seeing clips of it, but I never watched it. Man, we should have watched that.
I had it written down on my list. I had a lot written down on my list, Arturo. We
I
didn't
totally
get around to.
didn't realize I was.
This is another movie Jason Clarke was in. Holy cow! And Joel Kinnaman. I forgot he was in that.
I have one other movie to mention.
Okay.
Even though it's just a disappointment, like so many movies, so many mild disappointments, like a bit mild or bit Spectre, and but Black Mass. Does anyone remember?
I wrote that
Johnny
down.
Depp?
I wrote that down. I never watched it.
I thought. I mean, maybe I'm forgetting. I saw it and I just thought it was like boring. Like it didn't really have much tension or tensefulness or. Like it wasn't. I felt like it should have been a really good, like Scorsese-esque kind of crime story, but with like Johnny Depp playing a really famous crime boss based on a true story, and Benedict Cumberbatch was in it. And
I forgot he was in it.
And I just thought it was going to be really cool. And I remember seeing it, and it just felt like really slow. And by the end, I was like, dude, how did that? I don't know what went wrong, but. Looked like that had the ingredients, but nothing came of it.
And then when you get bored, you start staring out.
Was he? Who did he play? Who was the guy? Who was
Whitey Bulger?
That guy. Okay,
like
that's right.
Somewhat recently, I think within the last 5 years, he got murdered in prison. He'd been in prison for. I think he escaped.
Did he really?
He was on the run for like a decade or two for a while.
Right. Yeah, he was.
Finally caught him. He was in prison for a while, and then he got murdered in prison. But yeah, so should have been a cool movie, but I think it was forgettable. Unforgotten.
Did you guys watch? Well, I think this was Poltergeist, the remake with Ryan Reynolds.
Never saw it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say one thing.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Yep.
I saw just recently. I saw the original Exorcist for the first time.
Oh, really? What did you think about it?
I don't think it aged very well.
No, sorry, Simon. This particular Poltergeist this is not the one I'm thinking. There was a remake of Poltergeist with Ryan Reynolds and Melissa George. This is a different Poltergeist. This has Sam Rockwell in it. So I've not seen this one. The other Poltergeist must have been years before this. Sorry, Colin. What?
I'd seen some people say like, "Oh yeah, The Exorcist is a classic." It
was the Amityville Horror, I think.
Oh my gosh. You're right. It's the Amityville Horror.
And I was hoping The Exorcist.
I'm getting my ghost movies mixed up. I
was hoping it'd be along the lines of like The Shining, like something that still holds up. But I I didn't feel it felt cheesy to me. I don't know what you
Really?
guys thought about The Exorcist. I think
So-
maybe it's see. I don't believe in supernatural stuff at all. So I think people maybe if you have a feeling like a semi-belief in ghosts or demons or possessions, then maybe it hits harder. But for me, like anytime the demon child was talking, like it really felt like a writer is writing. Like this isn't a possession. This is what a Hollywood writer thinks a demon child would say, rather than a demon child. Like it never felt real to me.
Because you would know.
No, I wouldn't know. But if my instinct is this is cheesy, then I don't feel like it. I wouldn't actually feel that way if that was a real thing. Like if that happened, I wouldn't be like, this is cheesy. Like I would be freaked out. But I don't like some of the stuff the demon child was saying was like, come on, like that's not. I don't know. Did anyone else?
What was a big
I mean,
deal
have
with
you seen a child possessed by a demon?
No, but I would know.
Well, maybe they talk like that. How do we know? Colin,
I
you got
know
to be
that-
realistic, man. I
Felt
mean, demons.
cheesy to me. I know
So
at the
this movie
time
was
it was
supposed to be
crazy.
really, really yeah. When it came out, it was like a big deal, and it freaked people
Yeah.
out. And
My dad told me like one of his best friends couldn't sleep, and
So,
it was a real thing.
Well, at the time, nobody saw
time.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
at
was-
the time.
yeah.
Nowadays, it's like everywhere.
Well,
you
then
can go to
also
sleep.
it's based
Right.
on a true case, except
Right.
in the true story, it was a boy, and obviously events didn't play out exactly that way. But I watched it because like someone that I knew was like, oh, it's like the scariest movie ever, and
Yeah.
I finally watched it, and it didn't affect me at all in that
Yeah.
way either.
No.
I think the one thing that it really hit me the most, or the sentiment that hit me the most, was just the situation that the mother was in. Something was wrong with her child, and she couldn't figure it out, and the helpless feeling
Right.
that she
That
had.
actually
That
was
to me was
the
the
strongest
scariest part.
emotional
Yes, exactly.
Part of the movie.
Yeah, the hospital
Yeah.
was actually the scariest part.
Yeah. That was the only part you actually kind of felt a feeling and after that it just became cheesy with the
Yeah, just all this
Got it.
stuff that happened. It felt like it was more for shock value,
yeah,
but
which worked at the time.
That might have.
Colin, check the private chat.
Okay.
the effects
think
are,
that's pretty-
yeah, it's still a decent film. I still enjoy it. Okay, it's not something that I watch, but I'm not
It's
super
not like
into
my
like
favorite, but
possession movies. They're not
That's funny.
huge for me.
I think
that's
that
alright.
freaked Corey
That's
out
cool.
at the time because he was, I think, too young. when he watched it.
I actually love the 70s King Kong. That's my favorite King Kong movie, is the one from the 70s.
It's fun to Google the reactions to The Exorcist,
Oh
like
yeah.
the newsreels from that time.
Oh, you
it's
said,
kind of
oh
funny.
yeah,
Old
some people were
school-
just
old school
people
reaction.
had like fainted in
Yeah.
the theater and everything.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, people were freaking out and shit.
Oh yeah, that one was. Well, the one thing that movie played was your head, because they never
Yeah.
showed a lot of gore. You just knew what he was doing when he was cutting up a guy, or when he killed another guy with the changing. You never see any blood and guts.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
that's
Texas
more
Chainsaw
effective.
Massacre is scarier to me than The Exorcist.
Oh yeah, because.
But also,
like,
supernatural horror doesn't really scare me too much, anyway. So,
Yeah.
I've been watching a
Did you
lot
know
of
Texas
these.
Chainsaw Massacre is actually vegan propaganda?
it's
Vegan?
vegan propaganda. No, I didn't
Yep.
realize that. Yeah, the
Toby
Texas
Hooper?
Exorcist was silly.
Doesn't like, he's a vegetarian because he doesn't like animal cruelty, and he wrote Texas Chainsaw Massacre to show how animals were treated by treating humans like that.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Nice.
I can see that.
Hence the
I
meat
can
hook and everything.
Totally see that.
Nice.
Hmm.
I kind of agree with that. It's just
I mean, like if you think about it.
it's pretty fucked up the way humans treat animals on like the factory farm scale.
They need to give them a happy life. I mean, yep, there's a better way to do it than just massacring them like that.
Yeah.
Like mostly the farmers do it the right way. They just
I love eating meat though. It's hard. I feel like a hypocrite. Like I don't think I could kill shit myself, but maybe chickens.
no. I can't even kill a mouse.
Right, yeah, I don't think.
It's like that Dennis Leary thing Meat tastes like murder, and murder tastes pretty damn good, doesn't it?
I know.
But are we gonna do like our top 5?
Bill Burr said, where it's like he tried to give up meat, and he's like, something has to die every day for me to live. Like I can't give up meat. He's like, something's gotta die. I gotta eat meat.
I think somebody made a point about vegan, like something is still dying, just so you could have like the specific food that you know aren't eating, like animal food or something. But he's like, he made the point, but animals are still dying because they have to protect wherever the food is by killing the animals that try to get in. So still, animals are still dying. So there's really no win.
Well, we create lots of animals just to live in misery so we can kill them. It's not like
Yeah,
they're
like, I
not
don't
living
like
in the
that.
wild.
It,
Like all
it's
the
just
factory
like,
farms,
he just
they
made
wouldn't
the
be alive if not for us. Like
Yeah.
we made them to live miserable existences so we can eat them. It's not like we caught them. Like so that it is fucked up. But
He was just
It's
making
just
a-
Colin establishing an alibi so we can't hear the fucking stream in the basement.
He was just making the point that
Poor
even if
Colin.
you're not like eating like dead animals, because you know how they kill animals and all that. Animals are still dying with the food that you're eating as an alternative. That was the whole point he was making. So that animals they're still going to get killed. It's just
I don't know though. I mean, I get what you're saying too, but it's kind of like the whole meat industry.
well, yeah, like that. No, I don't like
films,
that.
but we're getting off topic with films.
Yeah, we
Well,
are.
yeah.
Okay, so
Can we go back to 2015? We
has-
jumped back to the 70s.
I know.
and-
well, we do tend to do this sometimes. Has anybody seen Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse? Speaking of eating creatures.
No.
Okay, I haven't either. I just wrote it down as a possibility to
Wait,
watch.
I just noticed this, and
What? I can't. Oh, hi, Ann. We used to have a mouse, and she was cute. We named her
she was
Peanut.
cute,
she was
but
tiny.
she wasn't like, she didn't bond as much as like a rat.
Well, she was too scared.
No,
like every time I would,
What's that, Colin?
sorry, I've rescued a few mice from my cats who catch mice and then chase them around the living room, and I'm like, stop it, and I'll like catch them and let them outside.
They're so
I feel
tiny.
bad for 'em.
Yes, the thing is really good.
yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
really classify
Thanks.
that as to me, a gore movie is a movie like The Terrifier. To me,
I
that's
don't know.
gore.
I mean, that
The Thing,
The
it had
Thing had
gory stuff
gore.
in it, but it felt more like it didn't really feel like a gore movie.
body horror.
Well, it definitely had some body horror in it, for sure.
I think I know
Yeah.
the spirit of
Good
what
film.
Shadow of Raven's saying is generally I don't like gore. The Thing is a good exception. I think Tarantino's like some good. I think Tarantino can make gore fun, like Kill Bill.
Now we're going back to the 70s.
Oh, and also Death Proof.
Yes,
that was
Death Proof.
pretty gory.
Yeah, that was almost too.
That was like, holy
memorable.
cow, that wreck.
Yeah, that was memorably cool. I think
I
I
think
talked about
Remy-
that for like.
I think Anne's referring to Remy, the little mouse near the ticket area.
Oh, you've named the mouse? Okay.
She named it, yeah, Remy.
Oh, okay. Did anybody see Tomorrowland? I haven't watched that either.
No,
I did. It sucked.
Yeah, I thought
okay.
it looked like
Okay.
it looked like I wanted it to not suck, but it would. And I didn't watch it.
All right. Well, I think I've talked about everything that I had, almost everything that I had on my list.
Now, my list is kind of conflicting because there's two that I can technically like kick out, but also enjoyed them at the same time. So I don't know.
D had a whole bunch that he listed. We don't have a hard and fast rule as to the number that you can list as some of your favorites.
Well, I've actually got one more movie to bring up.
Okay.
Kind of. It's more of a troll. But it is number 186 at the box office. The Game of Thrones season 4 finale.
Oh
Wait,
wait,
Released in
wait.
theaters.
we're jumping to TV shows.
Oh, the season, was it really?
It's not TV shows. It was released in theaters. So technically,
Oh, ha,
Wait,
nice.
Well, okay.
Okay, so which
What was
episode?
that? What was that
Which
finale?
it
'Cause
was
I've-
Watchers on the Wall and the Children.
Oh yeah, Boom, 10 out of 10.
Wait, what
Unless I'm
happened in that?
misremembering, I'm
What
pretty
happened
sure that
in-
was a 10
Isn't
out
that the one where Bran finally makes it to the?
Is that Hodor?
No, that's season
No,
5
that's
or 6. 5 or
Wait,
6.
what? Then what?
No, I believe that's season 6 because it's the end of season 4 they make it, and then season 5 like we don't see Bran at all, or we barely see him, and then when we see him again, he's like we're ramping up to the Hodor moment. But like, no, that was when he finally makes it to the tree where the children of the forest look different than that time. They look more like pretty, and they shoot the fireballs, and the undead come and attack Jojen right as they get outside the tree. And then meanwhile, the Watchers on the Wall was this epic fucking, wasn't that the wildlings and the huge wildlings?
Yeah, like fucking
wall,
thing. Yeah.
and the huge epic battle. I mean, yeah, that was a fucking reason why Game of Thrones was the show of shows. Was moments like those episodes, like 10 out of 10. Yeah, so good, so good.
What did you guys think about Battle of the Bastards? Speaking of scenes,
I think I loved it.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of what did I not like about it, if anything, because I think I loved it.
It was very tenseful for me. I was tense the whole time it was happening. I didn't know.
Honestly, it made me think Jon Snow was gonna die again.
Yeah, I was afraid about
when he was getting buried, and then like watching it
under all the bodies.
Like watching it the next time, I thought, how did I fall for it? So obviously, it's one of those like gotcha moments where like we're not gonna kill the main character.
When all of those horses were coming down on him, oh, that scene.
Oh, and those action scenes and the game, like the fat. Oh, that really felt like you were in a battle. Some of that action.
I remember all the commentary was like, "Why didn't you zigzag? Should have zigzagged."
Oh, the runner, Joe, or what's his name? The little kid.
The kid, yeah, he remembers name.
Rickon. Yeah,
that's
Jeff. The remakes are definitely pretty gory. By the way.
Which that was another bummer. That was one of the bummers as the show did start. Even in that moment, it had progressed a little bit past the books in some of the parts because, man, in the books, Rickon and Shaggy Dog, they were kind of set up to become like super badass characters, and then they kind of. That was the end of them. Then you find out, oh, I guess they're not. Because Rickon was kind of like a wild kid who like went through all this shit when he was too young to know and like went off on the wild on his own. With Shaggy Dog, who was the most like savage of all the direwolves, and the direwolves kind of matched the kids they were with. So I was like, dude, Rickon and Shaggy Wolf later on in the story, they're gonna come back older and be like the most badass. Like we grew up in the wild and we don't give a fuck. And I was like, it's gonna be so cool, but then it was just like, nope, the bastard captured him, and killed him. So.
There were so many missed opportunities with that show. Like the whole lead up with Jon Snow. I am still so pissed about what they did with Jon Snow and the Night King and Arya. That was so dumb.
Me too.
I'm so dumb.
Apparently, he's fixing all that in the book.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Well, because by then, but see, that's
to be fixed.
Why did they do? Okay. So he gave them the outline. He gave them the basic outline as to what was going to happen. Did he not tell them these important parts about Jon Snow and all this character development and this lead up with him and the light?
I think his outline probably could have worked, but it was the execution of it.
Yeah.
But I think based on now the reaction to what his initial idea was, I think he's changing it. So.
Well, the problem is it's too late. I'm so pissed that I don't even feel like investing the time and energy into listening because like the last book was number 5. Yeah. And these books are long, y'all. They are long.
Oh, I'll read it in a week. I'm
okay, excited. My mentality was, okay, the show was better than the books because they were taking a lot of stuff and they were just condensing it down into some of the more important parts of it, and it flowed better because the books are just really, really, really really long.
I mean, I get into that,
tedious. Though. I mean, they're good, but it's just they're so deep. But I was like, okay, when I'm done with the show, I'm probably not going to go back and listen to the books because I'll be satisfied. But the show was so terrible. Yeah. Now I just definitely don't want to listen to the books because I'm annoyed at George R.R. Martin for not getting up off his big behind and getting these books done sooner. He's taking far too long, y'all. This is ridiculous.
You guys want to see her face reaction?
No. Stop. Okay.
No, bottom line, though, is if that book comes out today or next year, I'm getting it day one and putting everything down to read it.
But he's got several books more, right?
Yeah, who knows if it'll ever come out. But that I don't know enough. I love the book so much, and I love it more than the show, even though the show lived up to the books until the end.
I had not seen House of the Dragon, but I know that Simon liked it. I think Colin, you saw it too.
I think
right?
it came in
I'm
for me.
When they
I'll tell you this. I'm sorry. I'll tell you that House of the Dragon was good, but for me, when I rewatched the whole series, I think the show starts episode 8. Like episodes 1 through 7, it's good. You could watch it. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it. But if you want to like start it and get into it, the episode 8 is when it's like, bam, like where it's going now. It's a 10 out of 10. Or maybe not 10, but it gets really good on episode 8. I think it's a lot of slow build up with a lot of cool stuff, but a slow build up. And then episode 8, 9, and 10, it really feels like now we're in the war, kind of.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit.
No. The opposite.
Ding, 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 ding.
No, you need all that backstory. It's all that backstory that makes episode 8 or whatever good.
Yeah, it may be so. Maybe
You need all
so.
the character development. You need to like have all the sort of
It certainly adds
empathy
to
with
it.
those characters.
You certainly don't not need it. It certainly adds to it. It definitely. I think maybe what I'm saying too is now that I've seen those episodes, I'm kind of like I'm more excited to start it. When season 2 comes out, I'll probably rewatch 8, 9, and 10 to build up for, because I feel like that's because it is a lot of time jumping, and you're right. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. I can't say you shouldn't watch it. It's good, but it's almost like it's a lot of like the prologue kind of lasts all 7 episodes. And it is maybe important, but it feels like the movie starts on episode 8, if that makes sense.
Well, the thing is, like after what happened with Game of Thrones, why would people want to watch the prequel, knowing how shitty the ending is?
Well, it's 100 years. The prequel's
300.
100 years ago, so it's none of the same characters.
I don't think
and
the
none
same people were involved either in the creation, correct? You guys said.
Yeah, different people.
I mean, some of it's not complete. There's some crossover. There's like a director, from Game of Thrones was the showrunner on House of Dragons first season. So it's not like there was 0% crossover. But
Miguel
I think the
Chipak.
writers were different.
Yeah.
D&D are gone. The bad ones are gone. The bad ones. I'm not watching 3 Body Problem because they're doing it.
You're not watching what? What was
that new sci-fi show, 3 Body Problem.
Oh yeah, I'm so annoyed at them. I have no interest in anything else because they've proven that they can't write for crap. So
right, they had gold in their hands, and they
The thing is, the 3-body problem is finished. So they're not making shit up. And if they can adapt that book like they adapted Game of Thrones, then it could be good.
So that's based on a book.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. They let me down so hard.
Oh yeah.
Like they made an enemy. I feel like I can't give them any.
Wasn't there a petition to like redo it or something?
There was. It still is it makes a lot of people. It makes me angry to think about it all over again.
And you missed all of this energy in the show that was really good for the past.
Oh, it was
years.
one of the best shows on TV. It was so good.
Yeah.
But, all right.
Because of episodes like
we have dived.
the ones
That's
that were in
such a
the theater in
tangent.
2015.
Let's get back to 2015.
Well, Simon got us started off on the tangent. So it's his fault.
Thank you, Simon.
It
Good.
was related.
Good job.
Okay. Well,
That would probably be my second favorite movie of 2015. Would be
the Game of Thrones episode.
those 2 episodes of Game of Thrones
Okay.
together.
They're not
Like,
really.
Right after Mad Max, it's with the children and the war on the wall or whatever. The brothers on the wall.
Watchers.
The Watchers on the wall. Yeah. But also, can we start the final top?
Yeah, I've got my top 3
Okay.
ready.
I've got mine ready. Although
Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll start.
Okay.
I'll start because I don't have to say much. We've been over all of them. I will say honorable mention is probably Sicario. I want to rewatch that soon. I don't remember enough. I just remember I did like it. But then for top 3 was I obviously Mad Max is number one.
Fury
And-
Road. Jeff is correcting you. Fury Road, you mean?
Yes, Fury Road is number one, and probably Revenant and Ant-Man would be
Oh, okay.
2 and 3. Ant-Man's one of my favorite superhero
Oh,
movies.
cool. It's also one of Dee's favorites, one of his favorite Marvels too.
Yeah, I really like original Ant. I don't even want to see the third one. I don't think I will.
That's a
It's
disappointment.
all right. Like it's enjoyable, but
It wasn't super. It was stale, like Arturo said. It just feels stale by this point. So many
Yeah.
of them do.
Yeah, the second one was pretty good. It didn't. I don't know if it felt necessary. Like it wasn't as good as the first one, but the first one was just kind of perfect, and I really liked it. And Revenant is a solid film, really good, and obviously Fury Road is like a 10 out of 10 all-star classic. So those are the three, and then seriously, those 2 episodes of Game of Thrones would be number 2 if they counted.
I didn't realize that was showing on the big screen. I might would
I
have
never-
gone to see
yeah.
it at the time.
Me too. This was peak. This was like when this was like nightly affair. It was the highlight of my week. It's like I
Well,
was there.
they started to stumble at the end of season 5, because that's when the books basically were done.
I think it was closer. I love season 6. I love Hodor. To me, Hodor was peak Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
season 6 wasn't terrible, but that was when they were on their own, and it.
I still think Hodor was with their peak. I think
You talking about the hold the door?
Yeah,
that
Hold
whole
the Door
storyline. Yeah.
was peak Game of Thrones for me, which I believe was season 6, and then I think season 7 and 8 were kind of like not redeemable. Too many things were wrong at that point. But I think 6 did enough things right that I would keep the first 6 seasons. Because honestly, with Game of Thrones, I have to say, it's not like there weren't things I didn't like throughout. Like, I think the first couple seasons, there was too much unnecessary sex scenes. That was just like, there was nothing interesting happening. And then all the torture scenes with Ramsay and Theon got a little stale. I didn't really like that. And then all the scenes with the High Sparrow and all that stuff, I was like, enough of the High Sparrow. So it's, even at its peak, it had like some some boring storylines I had to sit through, but I still rated it highly. So I think it's not until the last 2 seasons that I really was like, God, they're fucking everything up. Like, God, it made really.
Yeah, the Hound was good. I liked him too.
Yeah, the Hound was top 5.
He was certainly someone who grew on me.
He was top 5.
Went.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely grew on you. By the end, you're rooting for him real hard.
Yeah.
The final fight's epic.
Yeah. I know a guy who worked on it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he was actually in the. Do you remember at the very end there was like a making of documentary?
Oh really?
He was actually in that. Yeah, he's one of the prop guys.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Did you hear how they had to keep Lena Headey separate from the guy who played Braun?
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Yeah.
Because
I remember hearing that.
They had been in a relationship before, and it was quite contentious. So they had to, whenever they filmed scenes, because I thought there was some scenes that took place with him and her, they had to do them separately.
That's funny. That was one of the scenes that annoyed me so much. Just an example of how I felt poorly written the final 2 seasons, which we could probably keep going all day. But it was like Thursday was like offering Braun like a castle, like a lordship, to go to get close to Tyrion and kill him. Right? Remember that?
Yeah.
And then remember Tyrion marches up to the castle where Cersei is with all these crossbow men right in range of the archers to have a negotiation, and she doesn't kill him. And it was like, I just didn't understand how it's like, I don't know, he was the envoy of the enemy, but it just felt like so, like, how are you going to offer Braun a castle to kill this dude? And then he's right there for you to kill him, and you're like, oh, I forgot I wanted you dead so bad. You know what I mean? He was right there in her range to kill him, and she didn't even take that shot. She was like, well, I'll treat you with respect because you're an envoy. And it was just one of those things where, like, dude, this shit's not even adding up at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you know that Braun, the guy who played Braun, was part of a singing duo?
Yeah.
No, did not know that.
Yep.
I'll post one of their songs in the Discord.
No, we're not, Sasha. We just
not yet. We
Hold
keep getting derailed by talking about other things.
Doing our
Okay.
talk.
I'm sorry.
All
I'm
right.
done.
Artur, he's trying to
done.
rein us in. Okay.
All right.
Go!
Okay. I'll go ahead and list my top 3. Oh no, sorry. Go ahead, Simon.
Okay, top 5. Force Awakens. Number 2,
Okay.
The Martian. Number 3, Hateful Eight. Number 4, Ex Machina. And number 5, Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? What was the third one you said?
Hateful Eight.
Oh, wait.
The Hateful Eight, yeah.
Hateful Eight. The Hateful Eight. Interesting.
Sorry,
Hateful
The
Eight.
Hateful Eight.
The Hateful Eight.
That's not too bad.
I'm bad. No, so at work, someone was like, gave me a coupon for like, what, something bacon and corn, and I was like, something's breaking and torn. He was like, no, I said bacon and I can't hear good sometimes. What's breaking and torn? Oh, bacon and corn.
Have you seen? Okay, so this is a little off topic, but my brother was
Yeah,
showing
we
me
are
something.
getting off topic
My
again.
bro-
Here we
my
go.
brother
no.
was
Go.
my brother was showing me something that I've seen before, but they were talking about like the New Zealand or Australian accents, and they gave this guy a card to read these words, and the words were "Rise Up Lights." Rise up lights, and they just had him saying it over and over and over again. And he just kept saying rise up lights, and he had no idea what was the point. And they were like, so okay, like in Australian, what you're really saying is razor blades.
Razor blades.
Rise Up Lights.
Razor blades.
Nice. Razor blades. That's
So no,
funny.
that's all I can.
That's
Okay.
funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's like
Yeah.
if you say beer can in an English accent, it sounds like bacon in
Bacon.
Jamaican.
Bacon.
Beer can.
I can.
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I can't do it. Oh, man.
Yeah, wasn't there something in British? They say something like, oh man, I don't even remember. It's some word. They just say it differently than we do. I
Yeah,
just thought
that's-
it was funny.
We talked about that at length.
It's just
Sure.
fan-
Two nations divided by a common language.
You talking about England and the U.S. or what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's
Okay.
bugging me. I wish I knew what word. But all right, didn't you go?
I had 3. Now there were some of the ones that have already been listed for people's top. I
Wait,
enjoy
before-
those. I enjoy those films as
Tim,
well.
can I interrupt?
Yes, go ahead.
Before we move on from, I wanted to ask Simon about his list because I noticed you left off Sicario and Pitch Perfect 2.
That's
Would
right.
those be
Why
on
did
the
you
top
leave that
10?
off, Simon? I thought you loved Pitch Perfect
Was
so
just
much.
missing? Did they just miss the?
Because I can't remember anything about Pitch Perfect 2. I just
Okay.
remember I cried.
Just remember he cried.
And then also I was gonna ask, I was surprised at The Martian because I don't remember you talking about it. So you just thought it was really well made? You liked it? Anything reason?
Yeah, I did. It was a movie about competency, you know?
Yeah.
But just working the problem over and over again until it
Okay.
works.
Cool. All right, I was just curious. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Sam. That was it.
Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, so I like The Martian too. It wasn't like in my top, but I do really enjoy that movie. So my top 3, I just picked 3. Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Wow. Top 3.
Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah, that's a really fun film. Sicario and
Oh, wow.
Fury. Those are my top 3 for 2015.
Wait. Fury.
Yeah.
Fury.
Was it? I thought it was 2014. We didn't talk about it, did we? For
Oh
this year?
shit, was this true?
Yeah, what are you?
Sorry,
Where are you?
Yeah, 2014.
I'm in the wrong.
We were talking about it at the start, and then you probably like.
Okay,
You
I'll put
just
them
look
up.
like what
That's
you
that's
last
why
time.
it wasn't on this list. And I was like, oh, I forgot about Fury. Darn it, let me put it in. Okay, so yeah, I'll put The Martian then.
Okay, cool.
And because Martian was real, I liked some of the scenes that I really liked was when he kept going off about how much he hated disco music. And they were playing the turn the beat around, and he was like, no, I will not turn the beat around.
Yeah,
I
Matt
thought that was
Damon. I
funny.
like Matt Damon. He's funny and he's likable. He's a good actor.
I really want to listen to the book now. I've heard the book is really, really good, and the narrator was really good. My brother's listened to it. And the author has written another book that's apparently really good as well. I just don't remember the name of it. So,
He wrote a really good short story called The Egg.
Called The what?
Babe.
The Egg.
The Egg. Okay.
Andy Weir. There was
Andy
a
Weir, yeah,
channel.
that's the author's name.
There's a channel called Answers with Joe. He did a interview with Andy Weir. If you want me to post it.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a
It is.
movie.
I know it's true. It is.
Yeah.
Well, technically, the other Matt Damon in another timeline, he kind of didn't really need help. He was with his.
You talking about
airborne
Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, which I did suggest to
Yes.
send to
Both of those are great movies.
react to the D-Day scene
The
for the
opening
80th
scene of
anniversary.
Saving Private Ryan, yeah.
For the next year is the 80th anniversary of
Maybe, yeah. I'll try to remember. I might need to put it on my calendar or something.
June
Yeah,
6th.
Fury and Sicario are both on my watch.
That was one of my favorites so far. Like
Yeah,
this
you.
podcast. Like,
I'm
like a
really
lot of
curious to hear what you think about both of those when you see them, Colin.
I'll post.
Sorry, Arturo, what
Watch
were you saying?
them both, Colin. You have
I
to
will.
watch.
I'm
them.
looking forward to it.
Like we watched Fargo.
Yes,
You gotta
and
go
I'm
back
glad
to
that you
Fargo.
watched Fargo. Aces. Aces. You know me, I'm a rascal. No two ways about it.
Oh my gosh, he's so crazy in there. Like, you never know what the heck he's going to do. And he is so, like,
You
just
don't know.
very
what-
deadpan.
Yeah.
No expression. He just talks casually and just.
And he's
And
just
then, and then the recent one that we just saw, where he's talking to the kids. You know, there was somebody died in this.
yeah.
Yeah. And when
It's
he's
like, you know,
when he's the pastor, and he's like, "Well, golly, I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on this mishap, but yeah,
And then the whole thing with him going in the building and shooting up.
that scene was actually pretty funny. He
With Key
walks
and
right
Peele
past
outside.
Key and Peele.
yes,
2 times he's right in front of them and they don't even
Yeah.
notice him.
yeah,
It was
yeah."
I do think that scene, like in the 9th episode, I do think that scene was pretty intense with him and the girl's dad.
when he was in the cafe
Yeah,
talking to
Stephen
the girl's
Root.
dad.
Whether or not
Yeah,
he's going
Stephen Root. Yeah,
That
Because
was,
I mean, I was thinking, well, surely he wouldn't randomly like kill somebody unless they're in the way of whatever he's doing.
he
Well, you
seemed like
never
he
know.
was someone who just liked to watch the world burn, though. He reminded me a little bit of Joker, because he would just do stuff just for the heck of it. He would cause chaos.
yeah, a little bit of that for sure.
He
Little
wants
bit of
to see everything burn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Lauren Malvo.
We're talking about Fargo.
Fargo.
Oh,
Okay.
Fargo.
I think you would
All
like
right.
it. Kevin.
Okay, so who has top 3 left, or top?
I think
movies
I
left?
have. I think I'm. This is pretty much at this point not even in order anymore. I'm not even bothering with top whatever. It's not even in order. I just say these are the ones that I like this year. Ant-Man, I did like that. To be honest, I did enjoy Terminator Genesis. That's another one on my list.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
you've
enjoyed
been
it.
disowned.
What?
I don't utterly hate it. It's just,
I
you know,
I liked
not my
how
favorite.
they went back and just redid those scenes from
the first
Terminator
movie.
1,
Mm-hmm.
but everything's starting to get messed up. And also the digital aging on Arnold too was really good. I like that. I did like Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Another one on my list. And also Hunger Games. Mockingjay Part 2. After all these years.
Yeah, finally.
Of course, I have to add a Quentin Tarantino movie, Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's Tarantino. And Sicario. That's my
I'm wondering if that's the fan favorite, or our most like whatever you call it, group's
Sicario
favorite.
seems like it's showed up on multiple lists. So.
Yeah, Sicario. That's cool.
In answer to your question, Shadow,
Nope.
I enjoyed Nope.
I liked
it's-
that it was different.
It
I
was
liked it.
different.
I liked
Yeah, I
it.
enjoyed it. Some people just absolutely hated it. Movieman, who was on earlier, he was not a fan. He did not
I
like
wonder
it.
why. I mean, why?
He goes
Is it-
into detail as to why he doesn't care too much
Is
for
it
it. It's not my
understandable?
favorite Peele movie.
you
My
like it?
favorite. Say what?
I'm sorry, did you like it? Did you see it?
I
you
liked
see
it, yeah.
that? Yeah.
Mhm.
It
I thought it
was.
was unique.
Yeah, it
I
held
thought
my
it was like a
interest.
different take on
The concept was
UFOs.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
but
scene
my-
with the the little aliens in the
Oh
stadium.
yeah, I thought like, oh,
Oh, that was funny.
Spoilers.
That shit gave me goosebumps, man. That shit freaked the fuck
I
out
was
of me.
like, uh-oh.
Holy shit, was
I like
that
the
scary?
In the
I
beginning,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
I like the scene with the brother when he looks out and he's like, nope. and he just,
Nope.
he just looks, but he's like just
Nope.
sitting
And
there
then,
waiting.
and then at one point when he closed the door, he locks the door like that was gonna, that was gonna help him at all.
Yeah. And I really like the design of the saucer. How it looked like cloth-like, but organic. Like a weird bioorganic cloth thing was just, that was really
And
creative.
how it could silently move around.
Yeah.
It didn't make any noise.
It was cool.
Yeah.
We
Definitely
can
creepy.
move on quickly to the shows. There's a few that I do recognize. Daredevil
looked up
started this
any.
year.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, shows.
that was a good show. What? What?
Oh,
No, there's only one show worth mentioning to me, and that's Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh, that one.
Oh, yeah.
That's.
I still gotta watch
That's-
that too on Netflix.
I haven't seen that.
Jessica Jones.
You should watch it. It's a lot of fun.
Where is it available?
Netflix. Isn't it a Netflix original? Is it not?
I
Oh,
don't
what is it?
know.
Speaking of Ash versus Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, when are we watching it?
I know. Well, okay. So we
Yeah.
were trying to figure out what was a good platform. Remember, like what was a good program? Trying to figure out the problem of StreamYard not sounding good when people are trying to talk while something's playing. Then I wondered if maybe Discord would be worth a shot. Because you can share video in Discord, but I don't know how the audio would sound. It might. I mean, we want to be able to talk. Don't want to have to pause every time somebody wants to say something. But like when Dee and I have done our movie watches on StreamYard, it's just like, oh my gosh, it's unbearable practically because we want to chat but we can't because we can't hear each other.
We actually need to get back to Steins Gate, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
I
you.
know we do.
I was
So
mentioning Jessica Jones started this year.
that was a good show.
Agent Carter started.
So we
this
need to be
year.
on the look. Hold on a second. So we need to figure out a platform. You'd mentioned something last stream, post stream discussion about trying to see if you could figure something out or something. And then between then and now, I've been like my brother was visiting. I was out of town. Then I lost my voice for like a week plus, and so I'm just getting back into the groove of things. So I hadn't done any digging either.
No worries.
But I
I'll dig
haven't
into it
forgotten.
then. Sure.
Haven't forgotten.
Oh
Oh no, actually, we didn't. You guys, have you heard of this?
I've never seen The Voices. I don't know.
Dulcimeris has mentioned this multiple times, so
Yeah, it's all right. It's not great, but it's entertaining.
I never.
It's Ryan Reynolds, and he's basically a schizophrenic.
Oh,
who-
that one.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen that. The dog, right?
Yeah.
Ah, yes, I've seen that. I enjoyed it. It was different. I didn't expect it to be the way it was, but it was fine. I don't know why Dulcimeris. I couldn't tell you. If you're supposed to be, if you click to be reminded, you're supposed to be notified, but sometimes that doesn't.
Probably
work.
setting your browser.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
There's a couple of Netflix comedies I like that started. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I don't know if anyone saw that.
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it? It's just a fun comedy. Like it was made by a lot of the same people that did 30 Rock. A lot of the same creative team behind the scenes, and it feels a lot like 30 Rock. And if you like 30 Rock, you probably like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
I haven't seen that. 30 Rock is the one with Tina Fey, right?
Tina Fey, yeah.
Yeah, I never. That's like comedy. You know how it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, you're not a big
comedy. Yeah.
Also, though, I was gonna say one other show I really like, Bill Burr's animated show on Netflix called F is for Family.
Oh yes, that's right. I've been meaning to get around to that.
It's pretty funny. It's about what life was like in the 70s. It's based on his childhood in the 70s.
Childhood, right? Exactly. I've heard it's good.
And so I kind of like it just because it's like kind of nostalgic, and it's really kind of more like fucked up than it is like wistful and happy. It's more like how fucked up it was, and in that sense, and is so it's kind of funny and different. I like it. If If you like Bill Burr, you might. Bill Burr.
Okay, so Sashi's mentioning Bill Burr and his enjoyment for One Punch Man. I didn't realize what was One Punch Man a 2015 show?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
One Punch Man did come out.
I never saw it. Is it that good?
It's
It's
fun.
funny. Like it makes fun of like some of the anime tropes,
Yeah.
like other stuff.
It's
So the
kind
guy-
of it's like a satire a little bit.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
he's so powerful that when he gets somebody, like they die, and he's kind of like the reason he has like this blank expression on his face is because he's just
He's
so
bored.
strong. He doesn't even have he's so bored. Like
Interesting.
the first episode, he kills one of the bad guys, and he's like one punch.
Yeah, all it takes is one punch. That's why it's
He's
called
like-
One Punch Man.
He's like,
I remember that Bill Burr had talked about One Punch Man.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's funny. That's weird. It's like I wonder how they made a whole show out of that though.
Oh, they've made 2 seasons.
Man.
Is a 3rd season coming out, Arturo?
At some point, it's just they're taking their time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Fear the Walking Dead came out this year.
I like that show. The first season,
That was
especially.
probably the most intense show, like season 1.
Yeah, because it showed when it started happening. Like showed normal life and then like normal life for an extended period of time, as opposed to in The Walking Dead, you only see normal life for Rick at the very beginning for just a few minutes. But
Yeah.
in Fear the Walking Dead, it
You just see like society break down. It's like that is actually pretty scary.
It's not scary if you use a synonym for walking, like fear of the meandering dead, fear of the sauntering dead, fear of the pottering dead.
Secrets and Lies. Has anybody seen that?
Secrets and Lies. I haven't seen
I don't
it,
know what
but
that
that
one
sounds
is.
familiar.
Better Call Saul was this year.
Oh, yeah, Better Call
Better Call
Saul.
Saul. Okay.
I never really got into
That's so
that
funny
stuff.
because that dude who plays him is playing
He's in
in
Fargo.
Fargo. And
He's so funny in
He's
Fargo.
He's so incompetent now.
yes, he
He's
is.
so simple and happy. Like he just wants everything to be simple and happy. Like
Nice
like,
sunshine, rainbows.
Yeah.
But no, that's not the case. And then the FBI guys are like crediting her for all the work, and he's
yeah,
he's like,
great work. And
That
he's
was
like,
funny.
yeah.
I have not seen the Battlestar Galactica reboot. I'm assuming
liked
you're
it.
referring to the one with Edward James Olmos.
Yeah,
right?
I like the reboot.
I've heard it was
watch.
good, but I just haven't
Yeah,
watched
need to get
it.
on that. It's really good.
oh,
Is it really? Good?
Mhm.
did anybody see this historical drama, Sons of Liberty? I actually do remember watching this with my granddad.
No, I don't remember that one.
Haven't seen it.
It has some actors in there that I recognize.
It could be my experience in my corporate career.
Sin Assassination Classroom started this year.
Oh, wow! It's that old. Wait
Yep,
a second. Wait a
and-
second.
and-
What?
And Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans also started this year.
Oh, but I'm not into that. But Assassination Classroom, when we watched it, it had already been out for a few years, right? When they put it on Toonami.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, Overlord that came out this year. This is like sort of an SAO thing, but he's like, it's just him that's stuck in the game.
Oh, Narcos was pretty cool. I liked it with Pedro Pascal.
Oh, that was okay.
It was about Pablo Escobar. The first
Yeah,
first
I
couple.
haven't-
They did some spin-offs, but like the first couple seasons with Pedro and Pablo Escobar were I liked them. They're pretty entertaining. I like some of that Mexican crime shit because it feels like real and scary. Like
Oh well, that's
Yeah,
what's
I don't.
weird about
It's not my
Sicario.
favorite, so I don't watch it. Yeah, Sicario was an exception.
It
I'm not really
made-
into drug
Okay.
movie stuff,
Yeah.
or drug story stuff. But
It
I don't
made
know.
you
It felt
feel
different.
very on edge, like when they're going down there and the music kind of just adds
when
to
they're
that.
in the traffic.
I want to
on the
watch
highway.
it. Yeah, I want to watch it.
Anyone
Yes,
see
it was.
Mr. Robot?
I feel like I liked
I've
the
s-
first season, but then I think it got a little too like it didn't keep me going. I think I gave up season 2.
I've
Man
only
in the
seen
High
like an
Castle.
episode or two. I don't think I watched much more than
I
that.
heard that season 2 was let down and picked up after season 3 and 4, or 4, 3 and 4.
Okay.
So I have also gave up after season 2, but I'll have to watch 3 and 4. So
Oh,
I'll
really?
let you know.
Oh, you said it picked up again after.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I kept hearing that it was good, but then I was
Oh,
like,
I remember Adam Ruins Everything.
maybe I should try again.
I remember that. He did a segment about
Oh yeah, this
television.
blonde dude with the glasses and
Yep.
nonfiction show. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
I saw that.
The Expanse.
I've heard that's good.
It's
Yes, I heard. Is that? Were
It's
you
all
talking
right.
about it? Someone was saying it was like really. It's like a World War II in outer or World War III in outer space or something. It's like a big political drama in space. Kinda.
yeah, kind of.
That sounds
Like,
like
okay.
Gundam.
It
Basically-
sounds cool.
Basically, there are 3 factions. There's Earth, and Earth has sort of been completely polluted and everything like that. There is Mars, which is not yet being terraformed, but they're working on it. Basically, all the scientists, all the smartest people on the planet
Yeah.
moved to Mars to try and terraform it. And then there's the Belters, which is like the underclass. They're the people in the asteroid belt, sort of mining stuff.
Okay.
And it's an interaction between those 3
I think
factions.
I tried
It's
to
Game of
watch-
Thrones in space, basically.
Yeah, that's what it was. Where is it? I tried to watch it. I couldn't watch
I
it.
thought
Where
it
is
was Amazon.
Is it Prime?
It was,
probably why.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
couldn't
not
watch it.
anymore? When you say
It
what?
probably
No,
still is.
No, it was, yeah.
I never have Prime, so that's why I never got to watch it. But I want to.
Well, you can watch it now on that other side.
I may have to do that. Yeah.
I haven't
At least
seen
it's hard to
Mindhunter.
see.
Have either of you guys watched Mindhunter?
I never watched Mindhunter.
Neither.
Yep.
Yeah,
cool.
that's exactly what Arturo said, Sashi, was that it's kind of like the politics are kind of like Gundam.
Yeah, that's because it's just similar. Man in the High Castle also started this year.
Oh yeah,
Man, I wanted to like that show, but I
I
couldn't get
haven't
into it.
finished it. It got a little confusing. Well, more and more confusing as it went on.
I only
I
saw
like-
the first season because that
I
was
liked
another.
the first season,
Prime
and then
show,
I
right?
started. I can't. Yeah, it wasn't Prime show. I think I don't remember. Are there 3 seasons to it?
It went from 2015 to 2019.
Okay, so I've seen at least the first season. I thought I saw the second season. It was starting to get a little confusing.
I think it's because of like an alternate reality or something. Right.
Yeah.
I
feel
was
like
excited about that show.
I
and
need
just
to
remember
rewatch it.
By the end of season 1, I didn't feel like watching more.
Really?
If they had made a season 2, season 2 wasn't out yet,
Wow.
and I never. That was like I had Prime for like a few months. That was all. Oh
Well, I mean that's about it for like what I've noticed or
Like for
recognized.
shows.
Yeah, I would say 2015 was pretty decent. It had some good ones.
Yeah, there's a long list of things I made.
Yeah.
But-
It had a lot of hits and a lot of misses.
Yeah, someone described, some film critic from the New Yorker described 2015 as one of Hollywood's worst years.
Really?
Yeah, but he
That's
also
funny, because I
said that
thought
it
it
was a terrific year for movies overall.
That's funny.
I thought 2019 was not the
That's
best
funny.
year for films. I remember because, I was working at the theater, and I remember we weren't really getting a lot of big hitters.
Oh,
I
really?
remember, like,
2019?
goodness,
Yeah.
This ain't good for the film industry. The 2015 though, I keep saying this, but that was like the mark for when things started to go downhill.
You feel like that was the turning point?
Yeah, I mean, we still got good ones here and there, but it just things started getting a lot more generic than they needed to be.
I'll say this: nothing's topped Fury Road since that came out.
Okay.
Not even Avatar 2, which I thought might.
Are you
finally be-
serious?
No.
Okay, that surprises me. I
no.
thought you were so in love with Avatar too.
You know what? I do. I like it a lot, but it's not on the level of the first one for me. It's not. I don't know if it's because I've lived with Avatar 1 so long, and it's just like I'm almost more excited for the third and fourth and fifth one than I am for watching the second one again. If that makes sense. Like I'm excited to see where this new story is going. I think we just got the beginning of it. But
I
Avatar felt like
didn't really get into Avatar.
Well, it's going to be
I
a
saw
few
the
years
first one. I thought
before
it
the
was
next one
alright.
comes out. I heard. Yeah, Jeff,
Yeah.
I agree. The Hollywood leading into now, like maybe
Yeah, it's like see, at the
I've
time
never seen
I didn't
Supergirl.
really pay much
I've been
attention to
interested.
it. It wasn't until maybe around the time some of those crazy nonsense started to creep into the entertainment realm. Like 2015 was the start of that, and then it just kept creeping up. And since I worked in the film and the theater, I was aware of all that stuff a little more.
Mm-hmm.
So I do kind of trace it back to this year as a start, even though it had good movies. And I know 16 had good movies, 17 did, 18 and 19 did, but
There's definitely, and every year there's going to be some bright spots for sure.
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
just,
I can't wait to get up to
2016's got a few.
yeah, like
yeah,
it's
we
gotta
need
be.
to start making a list.
I really want to watch The Death of Stalin for 2017. That's one I really
I want to see that as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
I gotta
That's a lot
watch
of fun.
Vince
seen it?
Have you seen it in the loop?
And say what?
I haven't.
In the loop, have you seen that?
No, I don't think so.
No. It is a show based. It's from the same writer, Randy Nietzsche, but it's a show based on a thing called In God. The thick of it, which is basically the UK's version of Veep, which Randy Nietzsche also wrote. But yeah, it works as a standalone movie, and it's really good. You should
In
check
the
it out.
Loop.
And Malcolm Tucker is in it, Colin.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I saw the that's
This
the
is a
compilation.
2016 movie, or
It's like a
Oh, I don't know
Veep
what it's
show.
from.
Like a
oh, okay. I
show,
thought
like-
it was something. Okay. I
Would
thought it
you
was something.
guys agree that this
Yeah,
was
it's
also?
not mine either. Shadow.
Would you guys
Sorry,
agree
Mr.
that this was
Quentin.
also the decade when classic franchises just started to collapse or get put in a blender?
When was the Me Too movement?
Kind of, I guess.
I thought it was
I don't know, 5 years ago.
2017.
Was that like
It was several
2015?
Years
Was that when like are you like basically saying is that when Hollywood became puritanical?
Oh, okay.
This was the start of it. Like 15 was kind of like the start, and it just got
Okay,
worse.
so
But-
Me Too actually has its roots going as far back as 2006, but it wasn't until Alyssa Milano started the trend on Twitter a few years ago, and then it felt like it turned into a witch hunt type of mentality thing.
Well, weren't they complaining about Wonder Woman or something? Like I remember when Wonder Woman.
Okay,
came out,
so yeah,
they
it says here.
complained
So
about that.
so it got started like the big like huge snowball of it all got started
October
in-
15th. Yeah.
Yes, to 2017, thanks to Melissa
Okay.
Alano.
Well, I remember people complaining about Wonder Woman, even though Wonder Woman was.
You know one of the complaints about Wonder Woman because
I remember the one-
she had shaved armpits.
Yeah, that was.
They didn't like that. Yeah.
Wait, that was not like canon? What?
What? They didn't like that she had shaved armpits in the movie.
Yeah, wait, can I run down just a
I
quick
think-
list of 2016 movies? Like, cause I didn't realize there's some bright spots.
Yeah,
Moana?
I wanted to start making a list of films to watch.
Yeah,
But
need to
yeah,
look up
Sashi,
something.
I'm glad I haven't seen it either. It just sounds like the longer it went on, the worse it sounded.
I do think this decade, sadly, was like the start of the downfall for a lot of good. Well, not all content, but the classic ones like Star Wars, of course, Jurassic World started to go downhill, and there was something else that also. Oh well, Game of Thrones, I guess, but it started this decade, and it ended badly this decade. Sorry, Sam.
Well, it's like Jeff said, Twitter was the cancer. That's definitely feels like a lot of bad things that society is going through has had its roots in the Twitter mob.
Well, yeah, but they
which is
kind of came
annoying.
from Tumblr. They started off with Tumblr, and then we went
Then
to
they
Twitter.
migrated over
They
to.
migrated over to Twitter, and then it kept going on.
I'll
and
try to
on.
check out Battlestar Galactica at some point because that probably would interest me more than House of the Dragon. I'm still very salty about stuff about House of the Dragon, so about Game of Thrones and all that whole world. So I don't know.
Oh,
You don't like
oh.
House of the Dragon. Just give it a chance.
Well, I've got a couple 2016 movies,
Start of the Dark Times.
and I know Simon said before he loves this movie. Have you, Sen and Arturo, have you seen Arrival?
I have not seen that. I think
Wait,
You haven't seen it? Oh my god.
wait. Is that Amy Adams?
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, I've seen that.
That is my favorite movie of all time.
Are you
And you
serious?
need to watch Arturo. Yeah.
It's really good. I actually I rewatched
that
it for the
surprises
second
me.
time, like last week or 2 weeks ago, and I liked it a lot more the second time because I think the first time I didn't really know anything, but I knew like aliens, mysterious, and I was kind of looking for action and suspense, and I was kind of thrown by the tone
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
not.
And
It's definitely not that.
and I enjoyed it though. But then watching it again this time, and I didn't know who Denis Villeneuve was, and watching it again this time, just knowing it was Denis and knowing it was intended to be a slower movie, I like so much of the stuff resonated with me a lot more, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great movie. I can see why it's your favorite movie. Although I will say, the song they used to open and close the film, the orchestral piece, which is also in Shutter Island, like, too sad, too evocatively sad. Like, you combine it with a sad piece of story, it just makes you want to cry. And I don't. Like,
What's
I
that
can
called? On the Break of Morning or?
Yeah,
I think so. I can skip the last 5 minutes, so I can skip the first and last 5 minutes of Arrival because it's very like sad because of that music. But then
I'm kind of where Shadow feels about it. Like, it's a good movie, but I'm not super in love with it. It's definitely worth a watch. I'm just not as enamored with it as some people were. But it's definitely something
I
I
recommend
think you should
it
check
with
out,
Arturo.
Arturo. I'm going to
Yeah.
write it down. I'm going to put it
I
down. On the
suggest
list.
it. It's really different, and
It
it's
is
got a
different,
good,
for sure.
really
And
good
it's a
story.
little confusing. Should
Yeah.
I let... No, I shouldn't.
Don't say
I
anything.
shouldn't. No, I shouldn't, because I was going to say
No.
what you find out at the end, that's like the whole twisty point of it. So
It's
no,
got
I'm
a
not
twist
gonna-
at the end that you
Yeah.
don't see coming, so you
Yeah.
don't want to have
You think you know
you don't
what's
want to have
happening, but you
preconceived
don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got a good twist, but even just the movie itself has a lot of really interesting parts to it that are I definitely
Shadow, get out.
No, I was, you know what I was saying to him? Actually, same.
No, Dune, I love Dune too. I think Dune even gets better.
I don't hate it.
Oh, we just lost Simon.
Did he leave? He's so pissed.
Dune 2
I
is going to
don't.
be even better.
I don't hate Dune. I just am not in love with it. I'm gonna watch the second one. I don't regret watching it. I'm just not.
you know Hacksaw Ridge.
Apparently, the second one is action paction-packed.
I can't
Really?
wait.
So,
I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay.
I do think I will say this: watching Dune, I think it's one of those movies that is better if you know the story, or if you have a
Probably
sense of the
that might be
story.
one of the reasons why I'm not super drawn to it.
Because it's an epic story, and I find myself when I'm watching the movie, a lot of times I'm thinking about like how it fits in a larger picture, and how like these scenes also connect with other, like it would be kind of different if you didn't really know the whole big picture, because it's really kind of like a big picture story, and you're seeing all these little moments that connect to like a big thing, and when you kind of have that in the back of your mind, it makes the whole thing way cooler, I feel like. So some movies are like that. I think Dune's one where you want to be, it's contemplative or whatever. Can't ever say that word.
Contemplative.
Yeah, something like that.
Do we have any other 2016 things to recommend? I've got Arrival and I've got Rogue One written down because I want to rewatch Rogue One.
There's also
Green Room.
Oh, that's with
You seen it? Yeah.
Yes, I have, but Arturo
who?
hasn't.
With
Green
who?
Room. Anton
With-
Yelchin,
Anton
Okay.
Yelchin,
Yeah.
Anton Yelchin and Patrick
Patrick
Stewart.
Yeah.
Some obvious, like Deadpool. Everyone's seen Deadpool. Have you all seen
Sing Street.
Sing Street?
It's an Irish sort of feel-good movie about
No, I haven't heard
starting a
of that.
band,
No, I haven't
kind of the
heard.
same lines of the Commitments.
Haven't seen that one.
Swiss Army Man for the makers of
Oh gosh, that one seems really strange.
yeah.
That's
Wait,
Daniel
we
Radcliffe, right?
We've talked about Hacksaw Ridge before, right? You guys have both seen that?
Yeah,
I
wanted
think
to watch it.
Arturo started. I haven't seen it.
I've never seen it. I want to watch it.
Okay,
I've heard it's good.
Hacksaw Ridge. If you like war movies, I mean, I hate to recommend it because it's pretty like heavy and sad at a lot of points, but I think I'd put it like top 3 best war movies, at least top 5, but probably top 3 best war movies I've seen. So I highly recommend Hacksaw Ridge.
Is that the one by Mel Gibson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Because to me, it's a comic book of a war movie.
You
if that
think
makes
so?
sense. Yeah.
Isn't Andrew Garfield?
Maybe
in
I'm
it?
just
Yeah.
maybe I'm just I don't know, an easy audience, but it worked for me. It felt like dramatic battle scenes and dramatic like story, emotional scenes.
Oh,
And I
Eddie the
kind of
Eagle.
liked I like that
Eddie
it was a real story, but I like that it's based on like a medical guy that wasn't trying to kill. Like he was running into battle to save people instead of to kill people, and I just liked that kind of twist on what a lot of war movies are. Almost they're always about killing and killing, but he was just running in there to save people, which
Yeah.
I liked that aspect of it. And I do think for me the battles were effective and intense. And
Well, it also reminded me a lot of like because my great granddad was in the Pacific, but he never wanted to kill anybody. He refused to take a gun.
yeah,
That's what they gave me that vibe.
yeah.
But he wasn't a medic.
You don't
Another-
think that is worth watching, Simon?
No, it's worth watching, but I don't think it's.
Not one of the best war movies.
It's just too over the top.
Yeah.
I think.
Patriot Day. Is that something to recommend?
Oh, I forgot what was that.
One movie I know you love, if you haven't seen it, is The Nice Guys.
That's Russell Crowe.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
Ryan Reynolds?
no,
Ryan Gosling. No,
Ryan
she
Gosling.
might not. She doesn't like Ryan Gosling.
okay, so you know what? I started watching that and I couldn't get into it, and I've been meaning to return to it. Maybe I'll force myself to watch it.
Honestly, I
That's good.
couldn't get into it either. Maybe I was in the
Yeah,
wrong mood.
I-
Because I like
Yeah.
Shane Black. I love Ryan Gosling. The tone of the movie, it seems like I'd like the movie. So I don't know if
I'll
it might
put
have
it
just been a
down
wrong movie.
because we do have it. We have it on our Vudu. So I'll try to get back to it. It just wasn't striking with the chord with me. I thought it was going to be funnier. It wasn't super funny. It just it wasn't, and it wasn't because of Ryan Gosling. It just, for whatever reason, it just wasn't clicking for me. But I'll give it another go.
Yeah.
I'm going through the
There's
list.
like ones I haven't even
Fine.
heard
Civil
of.
War. Now, these are movies we're going to talk about. I shouldn't just start bringing up movies we're going to also.
There's like a
Bring up
Civil
again.
War movie. There's something called Finest Hour. The Finest Hour. It's got Chris Pine in it.
Oh, I think that's a true story. That's based on this storm and this people that got lost out at sea or in the Great Lakes or something. Something like that, and they had to go rescue
Yeah.
them.
I remember seeing this. It's called Allied. It's got Brad Pitt.
What's that one about?
It's
Allied?
got it's like it's sort of like a romance drama, but they're like spies, like a Canadian intelligence
okay.
officer in North Africa encounters a female French resistance fighter on a deadly mission behind
Okay.
enemy lines. When they reunite in London, their relationship is tested by the pressures of war. I remember seeing commercials for this.
I vaguely remember it.
I think it's funny to. I'm sorry, I made no right.
I was just saying it's got decent ratings on IMDb.
I wrote it down.
It looks like
I'll
a
check it
family-friendly movie.
Oh, sure. We'll tell Mom that when we watch it.
Yeah.
Did anybody? What about Demolition? It's a comedy drama with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I don't think
Never
I
seen
saw
it.
Okay, I
You know, it's a kind of a cool movie. It's on Netflix. It's a weird movie, but I kind of like it. With Jason Momoa. It's called The Bad Batch.
That's 2016.
Yeah,
That sounds familiar to me. I don't think I've seen it.
I always see it on Netflix. It's like a kind of a dystopia future post-apocalypse.
Oh, wait, I
thing in
have
the
seen it.
desert.
I have seen it.
Yeah,
Yes, I have.
Jason
There's
Momoa.
like this girl,
All
a
these
young
dudes
girl.
are like working out in the beginning. All these muscle
But
dudes
there's
are
also
like,
like this one girl he hooks up with, right?
yeah, she's like the lead character.
Yeah,
Is this girl?
I've seen it.
It's a weird movie, but I liked it because it was unpredictable.
Have you
Sorry.
seen The Invitation?
Wait, maybe? What's? I think so.
It's
What's
got
it
Logan
about?
Marshall Green. It's about these people that are invited to this dinner party.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like this intention behind the dinner party.
I think so.
I thought it was actually pretty good.
There's
I'm
a
gonna write that down as a possibility for
Jason
Arturo.
Bourne. Jason Bourne.
Oh, I want to see that. Yeah.
There's that. There's the you saw this in The Exception.
What?
It's got what's his name? Christopher Plummer.
The Exception.
Yeah, I think he plays the Tsar.
Oh, wait.
Why does it say 2017?
Wait, The Exception. Oh,
Yep.
is that the one that has
It's got it's got the girl from Baby Driver and Jay Courtney.
Yeah, Jai Courtney. Wow, I'd forgotten all about that. I had totally forgotten all about that. Is what like the menu? I'm not sure.
Have you
Cuba-
seen Hidden Figures?
Have I seen what?
Hidden Figures.
Yes. That was a really good
That was really
movie.
good, yeah.
Did you ever see that, Arturo?
Isn't that one about the
The mathematician
black women
ladies.
that were in NASA?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have not. I remember
I'm gonna
you
write
saying
that
it was
down.
good.
It's very good.
There's also Cuba and this Two Strings.
Dude, Arturo, I was just about to say that.
Same here.
I really like Kubo and the Two
I've
Strings.
heard it's good, but I've never watched it.
It's an animation, I think.
It is an achievement. It's stop motion animation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool movie.
And if you watch the making of afterwards, because it's fascinating with the way they
Really?
do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Arturo,
There's
did you
also
ever
a Denzel Washington movie, Fences.
Oh, I've heard
Never
about
saw
that. Artur, did you see Hush? The Mike
Uh,
Flanagan movie?
Is that the one where it's a deaf girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
I haven't seen that.
It's got John Koresh.
Emily Blunt's husband,
Yeah,
John Krasinski.
yeah. It's got him. The Magnificent Seven remake with everybody.
Oh wow, Denzel was Denzel and
Denzel, Chris
Chris
Pratt,
Pratt.
and Vincent
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, I remember. I think I saw it and it wasn't that excited by it. Like, I thought it was going to be cool and it was.
It was okay.
It's just a remake. And then there was the Assassin's Creed movie, which I heard was all right.
It was not very, yeah.
There's a lot to choose. 2016 is pretty packed.
I like how they made a movie called the BFG for the Big Friendly Giant.
Oh,
but
yeah.
For gamers who grew up like within the Doom era, actually you're wearing the Doom shirt, so I hope you know what the BFG means, Simon.
Big fucking gun.
Yes. So every
But
time
yeah.
I see that, I'm like, oh shit, they made a movie. Oh no, that's that kid's movie about the giant. But it's
Yeah.
funny that there's just a movie called the BFG. Like
The
Steve
BFG is a
the big
Roald
fucking
Dahl
guy.
book, and the way
Yeah.
it predates like Doom by decades.
Right. But still, I feel like, well, maybe I don't think BFG actually is big, and the kids today don't know BFG. That was kind of a narrow win. Gen Xers, well, some millennials.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Not exactly. It's I think you were out of the room, Simon, when this came up. There's a movie called The Invitation that came out in 2016 that I put on the list for Artur to see. It's about these people that get invited to this dinner party. Like the main guy, he's invited to this dinner party that's hosted by like his ex-wife. And so he shows up with his new girl, and then there's a bunch of other people that are there. and then you find out there's this insidious reason behind the whole invitation. So in that case, maybe a bit similar to the menu, but it's not exactly this. I feel like it's better than the
Wait
menu.
a minute, it says 2015.
Well, it shows up on the 2016 here, so I'm
Well,
counting
okay,
it as
IMDb
2016.
is saying that.
Yeah, I watched The Invitation. Yeah, I watched that
So
one.
you did see it?
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I liked it or not.
I remember enjoying it. It's a slow burn. It's not like a
It
super
came out over
action-y.
here in 2016, but initially
Okay.
it really came out in 2015.
Well, I'm going to count it.
Why? It was March 13th at South by Southwest, but it didn't get a wide release until April 8th, 2016.
Okay. That's why it shows up here. So I'm going to count that.
You're just going to count it.
Marauders. Yes, I am. Marauders. I've never heard of that.
I can't think of anything else that I'm intrigued to see in 20.
I'm still slowly going through the list. I'm on July right now. I've heard. I don't know if I want to see The Infiltrator with Bryan Cranston.
Didn't the Suicide Squad come out this year along
Yes.
with Captain America Civil
Yes.
War?
Yeah, it did.
Also had.
While I was away, did Colin recommend Popstar? Never Stop Stopping?
No, but I was looking at that. Like, I've actually never watched it, and I don't know why. Because I'm pretty sure I want to watch it. I think it never was around, and I'm like, I was just looking at it like, dude, I need to watch that movie too, because I really like Andy Samberg and The Lonely Island.
Lights Out came out this year. Okay,
Lights Out. Which one was that?
Yeah, Lights Out was
that
was a horror movie. It was they made a full-length movie based on this short story. It was about this entity that's in the darkness. When you turn on the lights, obviously, I thought it was really clever. It was effectively creepy.
Yeah.
You saw it, Simon?
Yeah, the YouTube video.
Well, that was the short, and then they made a full-length movie.
I've seen both of them, and I think it was a little bit thin for a full-length movie.
Really? I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's not like best horror movie ever, but it was decent. I enjoyed it.
Well, Lights
Especially
Out.
It was Andy Samberg, wasn't it?
Lights Out? The director?
David Sandberg was the director.
David F. Sandberg. Yeah.
I was just reading about it. That's why I saw it.
David F. Samberg, that's the one.
Andy Samberg's Popstar Never Stop.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
What else? Oh,
I need
Hell
to
or
watch
High Water.
Popstar. Now I'm like, it's either Popstar, Fury, or Sicario tonight.
Dude, okay, so the last time you said you were going to watch Fury, and then you never did.
So it has to be Fury.
So it has to be Fury.
All right, it'll be Fury. It will be Fury.
And then Sicario.
And then Sicario, and then Popstar.
War Dogs was actually a pretty fun film. It's not super stellar, but it was based on a true story. I don't know if I want to rewatch it, but
so apparently David F.
No, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say that apparently David F. Sandberg is called David F. Sandberg because there's already a Swedish director called David Sandberg who directed Kung Fury from 2015.
Well, my two suggestions is Arrival and Hacksaw Ridge.
I've got those written down. Yes, absolutely. Fury is just tremendously good.
Wait, have you guys seen Moana?
Moana? Yes.
What? Moana. Moana.
Wait, is that what you're talking about? Moana?
So good. Yes, I love Moana.
Yes. My one of my nephews is obsessed with Moana.
I love it.
The times that I've been in California, and dude, it's like repeat. Or
nice.
It's not now. It's he's scaled back a bit, but
right.
It used to be like he'd play it and he'd watch it again and again and again and again.
Yes, that's a movie that I can see that. Yeah, do that.
Paddington 2 is 2017. Should we watch them both for?
I'm just
We
wondering because
should watch Paddington.
So
too.
yeah, because the first Paddington came out in 2015.
2014.
Really, it showed up on my 2015.
Oh my, there might be another one of those things. Hang on.
Oh yeah, okay. Maybe we should just so we can find out what the big deal is. I'm gonna write it down just. Have you seen Don't Breathe? You guys seen that?
No.
I've written that down.
Is that the one with the
liked
blind guy?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. That the ending freaked me out a little bit.
Did you watch the second one?
Can't remember. All these movies just kind of blend into one
The
another
second
for
one
me.
seems so useless. It's almost like they tried to make him the hero of the story in the second one. I was like, what?
Well,
I
but
don't know.
but weren't the ones breaking in his house the baddies?
They were, but he was much worse.
He's a war veteran.
No, he wasn't what you think.
Was
So-
that worth watching? Don't Breathe. Pretty good horror.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was
I
decent.
might watch that one.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the live action Moana. I can't wait. Probably gonna be better than Barbie. Up there.
I saw the
That's
trailer for
Barbie.
Barbie finally.
Can't
It's-
wait. Ryan Gosling's back to form.
Oh.
This is prime Gosling right here. We're seeing peak, maybe not peak Gosling, but prime Gosling right here. Mark. It's gonna be
Morgan.
good.
There's a movie called Morgan that looks interesting. I wrote that down.
Maybe I don't want to see Don't Breathe. I don't like freaky, gross, scary things.
What are you
It's
talking
not-
about, Carl? It's a
it's
family
not-
movie. It's a family movie. You should let your mom and dad.
It's like
It-
I don't like disturbing shit. It sounds
But-
disturbing. I don't like
it's
disturbing.
it's a bit disturbing. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think I
Stuff-
could do it.
It's more disturbing if you're a woman. Let's just
Okay.
say that.
Yeah.
What was that shit? Something really disturbed me in one of those movies where it's like the Australian outback, and there's like it's like from 15 years ago maybe.
Wolf Creek.
Yeah.
Maybe what? Yeah, it was Wolf Creek. Yeah, that's the one. Wolf
That was
Creek.
loosely based on a true story.
That shit freaked me out. Where at the end he's like stabs her spine. And he's like, "You're my puppet now."
I forgot about that, but they made other movies and then they made a series show about it, and the same dude plays.
That
it.
shit was just like, oh, that disturbed me. It wasn't
Yeah.
like that was a scary scene. I mean, it was fucking like awful. Just like, so much evil in the world. It's crazy.
That's the world for you.
There's so much evil in the world, and I'm not doing it.
No. It's weird though, because I think most people actually aren't. It's a very small amount of people leave a very big, like,
You know
scary,
what,
This is
Colin?
true.
impactful weight.
You know what? I see all this stuff in society, like in social media, just how crazy people have been these past few years. But you go out in society, and pretty much everybody's just chill, nice.
Yeah. I mean,
Literally, a random person opened the door for me at a gas station.
yeah, in real life, we're peaceful creatures. I think most people don't want violence. They try to avoid it.
Normal
Like-
people, this is true.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm also writing down Deepwater Horizon. I have not seen that, and also The Girl on the Train. Arturo, that's Emily Blunt. So you would probably like to watch that. That was based on a book. I listened to the book, and then I watched the movie, and the movie doesn't have the best ratings. I don't know why. It's a decent adaptation of the book, but the what they did differently was that the book takes place in England, and for the movie they had it take place here in the U.S. and her character is American, even though they got Emily Blunt to play her.
Can't they
She's
just
British.
set it in
Like, why didn't they just set it in England? I don't know. I thought that was silly.
Actually, let me see where I'm
Oh,
curious.
Your Name was 2016. Wow, I forgot it was that long ago. Holy cow. Wow. That was a good movie.
I
Yeah.
thought it sucked.
You didn't like Your Name?
No,
Really?
not at all.
Your Name was actually good. We should rewatch that.
You're not into anime? Is that what it is?
Maybe it was just overhyped because
Oh, okay.
I tried to like it, but no.
I never saw that one.
Didn't he?
That's good.
Arturo, what's the one that we just saw that he did as well?
Oh,
Suzume.
yeah.
That was pretty good. Oh, The Accountant. There was another one. The Ben Affleck, The Accountant. That was a good movie. I enjoyed that.
I watched Angel's Egg for the first time in like decades. Really enjoyed it.
What is it? Angel what?
Angel's Egg.
Angel's Egg. I don't know.
What is that about?
It's
that-
an anime about, I guess, about loss of faith.
Oh, an old one.
What's it
Yeah.
called?
Oh, so it's not a 2016. Okay, Angel's
No,
Egg.
Angel's Egg. Or just when you were on
Oh,
anime.
wait a
thought about that.
minute.
Interesting.
Angels. Okay, I know what it is.
Where did you watch that? On this site or like
On YouTube.
YouTube? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I have never seen it. I remember my friend at the time talked about it.
Sounds
You're
pretty
joking.
It's kind of
right?
like it symbolizes something.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
the
about his
fanfic.
loss. The director was going to join the seminary. He was like really into Christianity, and then he ended up losing his faith. So that movie is about him losing his faith.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought there was some symbolisms in like religion or Christianity or
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, La La Land was 2016.
Oh no!
I love La La Land.
I am so totally not interested in that movie.
No, I watched.
I
a bit
didn't
of
bring it
that.
up because I knew you were.
I watched a bit of that, and I'm like, man, this is making me actually really bored. Just looking at it, I can't get into it.
Oh, I've
The
heard
only
the
time I watched
founder.
It's not for everyone, for sure.
I've heard the founder is good, but I don't know if I feel like watching
The
it.
founder, who is that?
It's about the founder of
The
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But McDonald's.
I kind of want to watch that. Yeah.
I heard it's good. Like he was just a real piece of work.
Yeah.
Piece of shite.
Wasn't that Tom Hanks?
No, it's Michael
Michael
Keaton
Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
and Nick Offerman, Patrick
Oh,
Wilson
Nick Offerman.
as well, Laura Dern.
Nick Offerman.
Turo, I'll write down Assassin's Creed, but I'm not sure.
I mean, I have played some of it.
There's also Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt.
What? Oh, that.
Not good.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's,
I wasn't
Okay.
super thrilled with it.
I mean, I saw bits of it. It's more like romance. But Chris Pratt's character starts to lose it a little bit.
A monster oh, that's animated. Did anyone? Oh, sorry. The Accountant is good. Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Did Affleck direct The Accountant? If he did, I did not realize that. Unless you're just talking about something else he's done. Yeah, I know about Gone Baby Gone. That's with his brother in it. I think.
I think in 2017, should we watch The Disaster Artist?
Oh yes, I want to see that. Have you guys seen Yoga Hosers? What?
I watched a bit of it, but couldn't finish
What?
it. It's a Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah, I didn't really want to see it.
Oh, it's not showing up on the 2016 list for some reason. No, I've never seen it.
I'm just happy you guys are liking
It could-
Fargo. I'm so happy.
The box office was $38,000, so it might not show up on your
Jesus.
list.
Okay. Oh wait, it says here. Dulcimera says it's a Johnny Depp movie.
Yeah, Johnny Depp's in it.
Directed by Kevin
Directed by
Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Okay. The very pro-China Independence Day too. Oh, Independence Day Resurgence, right? Yeah, I heard that was terrible. Kevin Smith.
I will say, as Fargo season 2 does take place in the 70s.
In the 70s, but then also the third one takes place in the 50s.
No, the fourth one takes place in the 50s. The third one takes place like in the same time, like 2010, like modern.
Oh, I thought they were.
No, they're
only-
jumping around in that one.
They all
Okay.
jump around.
I thought season 3 is the one with
Chris Rock. No, that's season 4.
That's season 4. Oh, okay.
Yeah, season 3 has Ewan McGregor and David Thewlis and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who I really like.
Oh, was that when they met?
Who, man?
Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, they had an affair when he
Really?
was still married, and now they're together. Yeah,
What?
yeah.
I never knew that.
Pretty sure it's her. Yeah,
I don't think she was married, but McGregor
she wasn't,
was.
but he was. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The
Damn.
Oh, is True Detective from 2016?
I don't know, but the first season of True Detective.
The first
awesome.
season is really good.
Yeah.
I'll write that down as a possible. If that's 2016, I'll write that down too. Yes, but Fargo's been. But you know what, Colin? I figured I would like it because
Yeah.
I'd heard a bunch of good things about it. So it wasn't like I just was resistant to watching it. I just hadn't gotten around to it. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And I'll make this last thing. But isn't it cool how they like incorporate the original movie in the story without you having to seen it, like to make sense?
Right.
You know
So
what
the
I mean?
storyline of the original was the man and his wife, right? That was all
Just
I remember.
Yeah, the man kidnaps his wife. But just that Steve Buscemi in the original, he buries that suitcase of money with the red shovel.
I didn't realize that. I'd forgotten that. I only saw the movie once.
Yeah, so that's the one connection to the movie is that the Oliver Platt character he randomly finds it, that's the briefcase that he buried in the first movie. That we just thought, like, oh shit, that money just got lost there. No one ever found it.
I know, maybe I should have, because I'd totally forgotten. I had no clue where the money came from.
Yeah, but it's like, that's why it's cool is you don't have to have seen the movie to even know. You don't even have, it's like a little secret if you've seen the movie.
I thought it was like a reboot, but in modern. Well,
I thought they were retelling parts of the first movie with the man and his wife. So
No, it's just an original story.
Okay.
It's an original story. Yeah.
Dulcimeris, I have seen The Disappointments Room, but I don't remember a ton about it. I have a vague memory of being just kind of meh about it. I'll write it down as a possible return for 2016, but I don't know if I'll get around to it.
I think all these.
So apparently, season 3 came out in 2017, and he got divorced in 2018. Then married to Mary Elizabeth Winstead in 2022.
So I guess that's where they met.
Wow.
They were filming Fargo, I suppose. I knew they met filming something, but maybe it was
That's
Fargo.
crazy how much that happens. Where they're like, oh, you two act like you're into each other. And then they're like, we actually are. It's like, that's all it took. That's all it took.
There was some drama that went on in Instagram because apparently his kids are pretty sour about the whole thing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and so like one of his kids, I think, went on her page, went on her Instagram page and was just like talking smack to her. And then she maybe she like showed a picture of her mom on her own page and was like something like, my father left this. It was like a picture of her mom like in this bikini because she's still very attractive, and she's just like, my father, this is what my father left, for basic. It's like, oh my. Okay.
I had no idea.
I didn't know till recently either when we were watching Dr. Sleep, and I looked it up and I was like, oh crap, well that sucks.
Yeah. So watching Fargo is gonna be like, oh man, this is when it all started.
This was when it started. Have you guys seen Keanu? Because Key and Peele had a movie called Keanu.
I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as the Key and Peele show. Like, I'd rather just watch the Key and Peele show again. I felt like a lot of comedy movies, they try to cram too much plot into the movie, where it's like, I don't have time for this.
I'll write it down as a possibility because Arturo's been exposed to them acting together in Fargo. So maybe we'll get around to it. We'll see.
It's from the director of The Machine.
Keanu?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Oh, he also is known for directing the sketch comedy series Key and Peele.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Shin Godzilla? What?
Might be
Is that the one where it's just like them sitting around talking?
What, Shin Godzilla? I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever heard. It's not showing up at all in this list, so I don't know if this is anything related to 2016. Oh, maybe it's a show. I don't know. Let me look it up. What? It is a 2016 Japanese kaiju film. Okay.
Okay, I figured.
Oh my gosh! It has high ratings. It has high ratings, or decent ratings on IMDb and Metacritic, and Rotten Tomatoes has given it. It's got like 86% aggregate score on Rotten Tomatoes. What?
It was the one I'm thinking about. It's more about Japanese bureaucracy than it is about monsters.
Okay. Okay, I'll write it down. Maybe. Maybe that's something. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. It's the same for Simon. And actually, in about 15 minutes, we'll have to log off because StreamYard will kick us off.
Oh
So if
yeah.
we're gone when you get back, that's why we had to cut it off. It's a movie about how government deals with the monsters. Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Maybe I'll check this out. I wonder where it's available.
Is it not too corny?
No, it looks like it might not be. At first I thought it would be, but maybe
Because
not.
Sheen got like some of the stuff Matt mentions to me is like corny stuff. So I'm like, okay, well.
Let me see where it's available. On Letterboxd. Oh, okay. I may have to see if it's available on some other site. It's not like on one of the regular streaming services that I have. Okay. All right. Well, I got a pretty good list here. I feel like.
Oh yeah, your mom's gonna love all of them.
What?
Your mom's gonna love all of them.
Oh, my mom.
She's gonna watch all of them. They're family friendly, nothing serious, nothing too bad, except for a few shootings. But other than that,
We're watching Fargo last Sunday. We knocked out 2 episodes.
Nice.
And it was a Sunday. It was like we watch movies and stuff on Sunday before Arturo has to go to work, and we watch them next door at my mom and dad's house. And so my mom's usually in the room, and so we were watching the episode in Fargo when Martin Freeman's character is having sex with the wife of the guy that got killed.
Yeah.
It was like, of course, this one would happen right in front of Mom.
That's funny. Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, it's just a family-friendly show.
it's a bad. Did I say that's life or something? No, I don't think I did.
Oh,
I should have
gosh.
said that. Like, well, that's just life.
I wrote down Battlestar. Depends on where I can find it. I don't remember how many seasons it went on for. I thought I remembered that people felt like the ending of it was a bit disappointing, but that might be an incorrect perception.
It was,
I have.
yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Really?
So, yeah, not a great ending, but it wasn't worth watching the show though, because it wasn't like not a Game of Thrones bad level.
Okay, so just like, did it feel just kind of like meh at the end, sort of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I kind of forgotten because I remember being like, oh, that's it. Like,
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah,
Sort
But
of
the show-
like
the
maybe
ride is-
anticlimactic.
yeah, I think that's it. It's more anti because it felt like it really did have a lot of momentum and multiple interesting storylines.
I know it was pretty popular.
Yeah, it was really good. I'd always kind of just assumed it wasn't that good and never watched it, and I finally got around to it, and I'm like, okay, I see why this is such a hit. It's just got a lot of interesting characters, and it's just like a lot of different good stories to follow.
Plus, it's got. Oh shit!
You forgot?
Her name, Starbuck. Who played Starbuck?
Katie Sackhoff.
Katie Sackhoff. That's the one.
Yeah, she's pretty
Oh,
cool.
they did like the they did the gender swap on that character, right? Yeah.
Yeah. From what do you call her? What's the other show that she was in?
Longmire and also
Longmire. That's the one. Yeah.
Yes. She's starting a podcast now.
Is she?
Really?
Yeah, like so many celebs. But I think hers will be fun because I actually really like her. She seems so cool.
Yes.
Did you ever
really
see her
genuine.
fitness stuff?
I have, yeah. I watched her stuff because I subscribed to her on YouTube. She came to our local con last year that we couldn't go to because we all got COVID for a second time. Thank you, Javier. Just teasing. Anyway, so I was really looking forward to going to her panels, and I was like reading some of the stuff in the group about that con, and they were talking about how cool she was. Like she was just like walking down the street to go get coffee or something. I'm like, dang, that's so cool. I really wanted to like go to her panels and hear what she had to say face to face. But I've always liked her.
I know someone who's friends with her ex-boyfriend.
Carl Urban?
No,
Because Carl Urban was one of her ex-boyfriends.
oh shit, what's his name? It's almost 5 a.m., so my mind is going.
Oh, let me see.
You probably need to get some sleep.
It's really early in the morning.
I don't know how you can do it. I don't think I can handle it after a while.
Well, she's married right now to somebody named Rubio. No, Robbio or something. I knew she went with Carl Urban. Robin is this guy's name, not Rubio. Robin.
No, he's not a director or not a actor or anything. He's a commentator. Shit.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I don't even see anything here about Carl Urban. But I knew she used to go with him. What commentator on what? Like sports or politics or what?
On movies.
Oh.
Give me a second.
Okay. You mean like a movie
I'll be right
reviewer?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in Star Wars. She did the
She did one of those.
she did the voice and then she played the character, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Shadow. Glad you can join us.
Christian Harloff.
Christian Harloff.
He was a presenter on Collider Video,
Okay, I don't think I've ever.
and he did it
okay.
way back in, I think it was early 2000s.
Oh, okay. Oh, like back not long after this stupid Halloween movie.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Should I pull up? Corey has the same darkness.
No, you don't need to do that. You did that plenty last time.
Yeah.
But I can pull this one up.
No, it's okay, Arturo.
Look at that face, everybody.
What was I mad about there? I don't even remember.
I don't make Game of Thrones, I think.
That still makes me very angry.
I don't blame you. Like, if that was me, like, if that was my favorite series, I would
Honestly, I was
be so mad.
I was
Like,
I was
like,
going
that's how
to
I feel
introduce you
about,
to the show, and then it fell apart.
That's how I feel about Star Wars. That's how I felt about Star Wars. And there was something else that I thought there was something else that I also didn't really like. That just went downhill.
Dexter was another show that kind of fell apart
Yeah.
at the end. But oh well. Well, I've got a lot written down here. So I guess our next I'm going to try to have a like just a casual live stream on my channel's fourth anniversary in a couple weeks. But it won't happen until I'm going to be on a Sound Booth Theater live stream, so I don't know if I'll do my live stream after that, in which case it'll be late in the evening, or if I'll do it earlier in the afternoon. It all depends. I'm usually working earlier in the afternoons, so I don't know. We'll see. Okay.
All right.
Well, I guess we're about done. We're actually ending maybe a little bit earlier.
We did it.
I know.
We did it.
Did we give the year a rank?
No, we didn't. I feel
I
like
think it
for
was
this-
decent.
there was like a lot of okay. I'm not super in love with this year, so I feel like maybe I'd give it a 6.
I'd say decent.
6.5. I like
It
the
had some good
previous year
stuff.
more.
Yeah. But this had.
I'd give it a 5 without The Force Awakens, and a 6 with.
A 6. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's 7 because Fury Road
Okay. Okay.
pulls it up a full 2 points.
Okay, Arturo.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's
what
how
about you,
he feels, Colin.
Arturo? What about you, Arturo? What do you think about?
I said decent. It had some good stuff.
Just decent. Okay.
It's just that was the start of things going downhill. Sadly.
Yeah, that definitely might have been the turning point.
Like
sure.
I remember in the early 2010s. When I think back at it, I don't think there was like a lot of misses. Like I mean, there was, but like you had like banger after banger after banger. But by 2015, companies started to play it all,
Well,
safe.
it's like Colin said, a lot of things like the blockbustery sort of big corporate type of studio
And all
productions
of it is
and
just
the
like
franchises. There was more and more and more of that
the
that
problem
was
is they
happening.
get all these writers, these people that don't know how to write shit. They just here you go, here you go, here you go, and then some of them are just terrible. And then depending on who's running a company like Lucasfilm, they're not have any connection with like the source material. They just don't.
Or they
And
don't care. They don't.
they
They
don't
don't.
or they don't care.
Or they want to
And
ride the
like,
coattails of something that they know is popular with fans, and they're too lazy to come up with their own thing.
well, yeah, that too. But what I don't understand is if you're messing up something so bad and you're losing a lot of money, why do you keep doing the same dang thing over and over when that's just you're gonna keep losing even more money when you keep doing it? I
Maybe
don't
they think
understand.
it will take. Have you guys heard the reports of Kathleen Kennedy thinking that Phoebe Waller-Bridge could take up the indie mantle? What?
I don't know what that means.
Like
Oh, I
what?
don't know
She's
who Phoebe
smoking.
Waller-Bridge is.
She's the chick who's in the next Indiana Jones that is apparently supposed to steal the show. Apparently, this movie sucks, which I kind of figured. I've got a ticket to go see it on Thursday,
Yeah,
but
Sashi, I will tell you this was when manga slash anime started to actually beat a little bit of the competition over here because of that direction I was just saying. Like some of our companies here either have no respect for the source material, they don't understand how to write a story that people want. Most of the time, indie creators do a better job than these corporate ones because, well, they're passionate about it. And then that's why also people are going over to Japan with their entertainment because we don't know what we're doing with our stuff.
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah,
Very
I
true.
want to count the fourth one, but I understand why it's not the best one.
Yeah, I'm going to be on a live stream after I get home from seeing Indiana Jones on a fellow YouTube creators channel where we're going to be talking about stuff like this. Yeah, it's unfortunate,
uh,
but I don't know.
uh,
Maybe one day it'll turn around. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. We're already in this phase of these few years now. It's there. It's never going away.
I think it's a corporate thing more than a writing thing. I think they're given this sort of a mandate to basically, because budgets are so big, they don't want to they want to reboot stuff. They want a known quantity. They want a franchise, but they don't want to change it. So they just like gender swap or they race swap
Yeah.
and then make exactly the same movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of lazy, to be honest. Like, why
Oh,
not?
it's
If you're going to
absolutely
add
lazy.
something, you might as well like just insert some new character in there, or like most people keep saying, just make something new. Just do that instead of taking like a well-known property.
Yeah. Yeah, don't say it. Someone might steal it. That's true. No, that's exactly what's happening. But it's really
This is why
frustrating. And
like anime over there.
let's see something else they do that's really annoying, and they alienate a lot of fans by demonizing fans who complain about the crap that's happening. They demonize fans. They're either racist or they're sexist or they're homophobic if they don't like some of the changes that have been made to characters that have already been established. So it's like they're just, well, like you said, there's a thing you've mentioned what this thing is.
Well,
I can't remember. Like Simon has told us what this is.
they
I
don't
can't remember
understand
what it's
like
called.
they don't understand the source material, but you have to admit though sometimes there are fans can be a little bit they can be a bit crazy. some fans.
Well, some fans can, but
Like
In
the whole fan
general?
community about stuff, they could be crazy. So I never
the whole what?
really fan communities about
Oh
stuff.
yeah, they can be.
I never affiliate with them because I keep hearing horror stories that they're just
Yeah, streaming is definitely, in a lot of ways, better.
It was one of the shows, I think, somebody accused the fans of racism, and then the media was like painting like the fans to be all fans of Star Wars to be racist, and she quoted a number, and I worked out exactly what percentage that was based on the amount of viewers that it got, and it was something like 0.00001%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're dickheads, but
Well,
You
there's
need to
always
know-
that's always a thing, and no
Yeah.
matter what. But it's frustrating because instead of actually listening to valid complaints that have been made, they just dismiss all that. Oh, you're just racist, or you're just sexist, or whatever.
Yeah,
It's so stupid.
that's another reason they're putting minorities and women in front. It's so they can say.
So they can hide behind that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It deflects from their own
it's
incompetency.
I could rage about that forever, but we have less than a minute, so I'm going to
Yep,
go ahead and
20
hit
seconds.
end
we're
the
gonna
broadcast.
end it where we're
Thank
getting
you to
angry.
everybody.
We're getting
It was so
everybody.
fun. It's always such a blast. Thank you
It's
so
fun
much.
talking movies.
And we'll see you in about another month. Last
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday
Another
of
month.
July.
2016.